Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. All right. Mic check, mic check, mic check. Victor Moan was good with it. First person who tapped in. I appreciate you, man. We got a good one today. I'm just waiting for I want to start a little early. I know I start maybe 10 minutes early. I want to start a little earlier for my brothers to jump in. Let me see. Josh was good with it.
Luck was good. You can hear me?
I'm good. I hear you.
All right.
How you doing?
I'm lovely. How are you?
Your mic's a little low. It's a little low. I hear you clear, though.
It's low, though.
I hear you clearly, though.
Let me see.
Here's my computer. You should be good. Let me hear you say something.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing.
Yep. Perfect.
1, 2,
perfect.
3. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So I'm just waiting. Rob said he almost home. Just leaving his daughter's soccer. I'm waiting for 80 and Charles to jump in. I got a good one today, bro.
Man,
I'm excited about the conversation. Mainly because these are kind of like, we're already so prepped for this because this kind of friendship we all have. So I think it'd be cool to have these, to deal with some questions and answer these kind of questions in front of like people just to see how we operate on a more public level.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. What was your day like? How was your day?
Man, I had to take like an hour after work. I was talking too much all day. I was like, I need to get ready to talk some more. I took an hour to myself. I just isolated. It was like, let me not say a word to nobody until just need a little recharge. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Wait, let me see. Okay. Where AD at? So I wait for AD and Dr. Dorsey also. Yeah, my day was cool, man. I didn't do much. I was driving a little bit and prepping for the show, getting my questions together, getting everything ready for the show, making sure the live stream was ready to go live because I tried to go on the other day and for some reason the platform was tripping and I couldn't go live, so I switched to going live directly through YouTube. And obviously that worked, but I didn't want to have that kind of mistake jumping in, getting everybody ready at 6, and then I have that problem again. I'd be kind of not cool,
Yeah.
Yo, didn't you send me a playlist for Spotify?
Yep.
Did I not add it? Because I was in the car.
I think I sent you an Apple Music one. I need to figure out.
Did you?
Well, because I'm on both since I'm doing that New Music Friday thing.
Okay.
And a lot of people have been asking me like, oh, link the playlist. You know what I'm saying? We want to listen to that or whatever. But it's not easy to like, you got to use a third-party service to like copy the playlist from Spotify and get that same thing on Apple Music, so you don't have to add it one by one. So I need to do that. I need to move everything over.
You prefer Spotify over Apple Music?
I don't
or
think
you just
so.
Used to use what you use.
Yeah, I think I'm just used to using Spotify. Like,
okay.
Either one is fine, but I've just been with Spotify for a long time, so
for sure,
most of my stuff was on there.
I don't like Spotify because commercials.
Oh yeah.
Do I have to pay for it? I listen to Apple Music, and maybe I don't. Maybe it's a difference, but because I cut on a playlist the other day, not yours, but another guy's playlist. This guy I follow on Instagram, he makes some dope playlists, and every time the commercials just come on, it reminds me of Pandora. So I'll be like, all right, let me just go back to Apple.
It is a little Pandora.
Yeah, because I definitely need some new. Yo, you know what I heard today? Jazzy interview on Joe Budden's podcast.
Oh man, I haven't listened to it yet. I want to listen to it. Is it good?
Man, yeah. I'm talking about her part specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really good. I learned a lot about her. First of all, she's super dope. You already know she's super dope, but I learned a lot about her and her grind, her thoughts about the business and songwriting. I just found myself agreeing with a bunch with the way she thinks on on an artistic level for sure, but also on a personal level.
Yeah.
Like I'm more of a fan of hers now after I've heard this interview. She's dope.
I'm about to check it out. Yeah, it's on my to-dos to listen to. You know what I'm saying? Like I
For
gotta
sure.
check that out.
Let me see. Waiting for some people. Okay, we got 5 viewers already. Oh, that's me, you. We got what, 2 more viewers, 3 viewers basically.
Yeah.
My man Victimone was the first person in the building. Let's clap it up for Victimone, man. For the first viewer, I appreciate that. It's so hard to, I'll be talking to the community. It's so hard to get, like once you start talking on these platforms consistently, you find it hard to get a lot of people to fall in. Like even though they're still used, for example, my Instagram I have like 80,000 followers, but it's hard to transfer people out of somewhere to another place when they know you for this spot or they know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's been Sean, what's good? What's good? Shout out to you. Sean, my good brother, is definitely in the building. Sunshine Baby is definitely in the building. Good evening. Good evening. Yeah, that's the hard thing about getting people to transfer over. But
Right.
I've been having a good time, man, and especially with the community I have here. They've been really, really interacting back and forth. I love that input, questions. They've been tapping in with me every time I've been live. They've been tapping in with me, so it's good to see that because I feel like if I just stay consistent, which I'm going to, once it grows and grows and grows, all my original OG followers, I love for us to grow like a family. Like instead of it just being, I don't like the whole we have an internet relationship thing. Like you know what I mean. I'm on this side of the screen and you're on that side. But the plans I have for my community is I want to get it to a point where we having meetups, hangouts, and stuff like that. You know what I mean. That's how we really, really benefit from some of these conversations because my conversations are more so like I said, we'll laugh, we have funny, fun times to be goofy and be silly, like I love to do. But also, I want them to leave with something because I leave with something, right? That's why I thought this conversation is imperative to what I want to do here in this community, and it's the first of many, And I'm excited to. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that for the sub. Thank you, my good brother. Thank you. Yeah, I'm yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah, man. So what's up with the brother? Play for the brothers. Oh, yeah. First, technically, it's not even 6 o'clock yet, so they ain't even late.
They got a minute. They got a minute.
Yeah, they're not even late. But I'm excited about your. Obviously, we're not gonna talk about it too much on here, but I'm excited about your summer spritz.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You like? Oh yeah.
Let's talk about that off camera. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Off the internet.
It's funny when the introvert in you speaks up.
Listen, I'm like, man, all right, we gonna do that. I like being in my space. Introvert.
Bruh, I'm excited because I had such a good time. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I had an awesome time. That's the type of thing my wife and I love to do. With
I can
people.
get down with stuff like that. I'm not like a big party type of, lots of different people. Like, some people get fed off that type of energy. I like the smaller, intimate conversation. Like you can actually build and have a good conversation with somebody. Like I enjoy that part.
That's the environment I think but that's the environment she's creating.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like that intimate, cool. It's big enough to not feel empty, but it's small enough for everybody to talk to each other.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? Because I had a ball. The 2 guys that were sitting next to, I didn't know their names, but hilarious.
Yeah.
Me and my wife was cracking up in the ball.
Funny conversations.
Okay. Another good brother's falling in. AD is in the building. AD is definitely in the building.
What's up?
What's good, my brother?
I'm good, man. What's up with you? Josh, what's up, man?
I'm good, man.
AD, I ain't seen your face in a minute, brother. You look good. You look good, brother.
I'm out here LA living, bro.
Listen, you come to LA and you stay for the weather forever, and then now you just a LA native. You know what I'm saying? That's how it works,
bro. I told somebody today. I said, man, if I have more kids, My kids got to be LA.
Yeah.
They got to be born here. I got one daughter that I legally signed for,
Okay.
and but I said, man, it's something about LA. I don't know, man. It's just different, man. Y'all, I mean, y'all know, but it's just different here, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had this conversation with somebody recently. I was like, when you LA native, first off, Sean, it is Josh. I remember Sean. Sean and I go way back. Shout out to Sean. What up, Jay? It has been a long time with Sean. I see you though. But like it's different when you LA, like when you get around a group of LA natives that have been born and raised here, it's a little different than like the culture of the people that come here looking for like the Hollywood lifestyle. Right. You know, they talk about LA being fake, but like if you know the real LA and you fall in with like good LA native people, it's just a different energy. The support, how we kind of move is just a little different.
It is, man. Like I tell people all the time, like LA natives get a bad rep because it's transplants that come here that think that they got to operate a certain type of way. And then people be like, oh, LA's so Hollywood. No, it's not. It's just the people you hang around with may be Hollywood.
Yep.
Because everybody that I met from LA, man, I'm talking about from y'all to Rob to even I was talking to Kenyon Dixon. We were texting the other day, man. Like Kenyon is one of the most coolest dudes I've met since being out here, man. Like, and it's none of that fanfare.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, none of that, man. It's just extreme love and like just genuineness, man. And so I love that. I love that, man.
You know, when you kind of also, it's the whole attraction thing too. You kind of, it's like when you think about how, like cats like ourselves, how we all came together.
Yep.
It's that organic kind of way you come together and it turned into a brotherhood right off the bat. I'm appreciative of all you guys, and that's how we just been moving. So when you moving like that, you generally pull in from everywhere like that, especially around the city. You find yourself in really, really good crowds and around really good people.
And I feel like the one thing that's interesting is like, and I think with this group, and I've seen it play out, and maybe this is one of the topics for the conversation that we're going to have, look, but it's about like surrounding people that genuinely want you to win, regardless of what they got going on, right? It's just like, it don't matter. I just want you to win just because like I genuinely support you in that like real love. You know what I'm saying? So not everybody comes with that. So it's like, I think if you have that type of personality and you attract those type of people, then it's a good mix. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody supports each other regardless. And I feel like we do a good job of that in the group.
Yeah.
Shout out my sister. My sister Latanya Hart is definitely in the building. My sister is definitely in the building. Shout out to Mercedes Dion. Mercedes Dion is definitely in the building.
Mercedes.
Okay. Yeah, she know AD. Okay. AD, you pretty famous, man.
No, man.
I wasn't gonna say nothing.
You pretty famous.
But since we're here, I wasn't gonna say nothing. But since we're in front of people,
we in mixed company. We just gonna say it. You're pretty famous, AD.
I'm just regular old me. I'm just a regular, you know what I'm saying? No, man.
Nah. I'm excited for this. Hey, man, we missed you. I know it was last minute, Josh, but man, we missed you at the AD spot, man, the other night.
Let me tell you, I got on Rob's head so bad. He did it to me twice. He called me, said, "Hey, we're gonna be at AD's in 45 minutes. What you doing?" I said, married with a wife at home. I need more than 45 minutes. Then he gonna call me a couple days ago. Hey, man, we going bowling in 45 minutes. Where are you at? What are you? I'm at work.
I'm doing the same thing. I said, bro, I'm with the wife at the house, bro. I'm not gonna be able to
I'm gonna need more than 45 minutes notice, please.
Josh, I said, look,
my mom is definitely, but my mother is actually in the building. Shout out to my mom, Marion Hart, is definitely in the building.
That's your mom, look.
My mom, and my sister. My mom and my sister.
Shout out to Luck's mom and sister in the chat.
Let's clap it up for actual real family.
I love that.
Real family.
No, Josh, I said this. I said if Josh don't want to come over to my house because I'm black, just say that. Your wife black, bro.
I was about to say, what are you talking about, AD? What are you talking about? I'd have happily been over there.
Happily.
I'm gonna need more than 10 minutes notice. All right, I gotta.
No, like
For
no,
sure.
for real, bro. Like you do. Like, but this is what I will say. At least Rob does not discriminate because Rob did the same thing with y'all that he did with me, and it was my house.
Oh wow. Wow.
Look, I talked to Rob on Sunday. Rob was like, "So what you doing tomorrow?" I was like, "Well, I don't know, bro. Just I'm probably gonna chill at the house." Da, da, da. He was like, oh, "Okay." He said, "I mean, you wanna open up the house?" I was like, "Yeah, man. Like people can come through, whatever. Like like y'all wanna come." He was like, oh, "Okay, man. I'll let you know."
I'll let you know.
He said, "I'll let you know." That was Sunday. Monday, he hit me up. Hey, bro, we 30 minutes out. What?
To your own house.
What?
To your own house.
Huh?
You don't know how much could have changed from yesterday to today.
You ain't got the knock. You ain't got the knock. AD, open up. I'm outside, bro.
Look, bro. I was like, Lord forbid if I would have went somewhere. Like,
Right.
For sure. So much could have changed.
So much could have changed, bro. I said 30 minutes out. What?
What's right? Yeah, we had a good time though, man. That was dope. We gotta definitely. I mean, it ain't gotta be your house every time, but I'm saying
No, it could
that's
be
cool for us to get up.
But the thing is, look, I love the entertainment. I've always said, like, man, like when God gives me space, it's not just for me, it's for
That's a nice space too.
yeah, man. I'm grateful, bro.
Nice
Like
space, yeah.
extremely grateful, man. And God is really, man, dog, like, and I just gotta take a moment, man, just to be in gratitude. Because I really and Josh, when the guys came over Monday, one of the things I was telling them, bro, is like I felt like God has been telling me, like, hey, you have to be more grateful for where you are. I know you want to get to where you want to get to. And even though that may be my plan for you, but the key to opening up my plan is for you being grateful for where you are right now. And I told them, I said, hey, we can come into the house, but we're not doing any content in the house today. And everybody was like, well, what's up with that? And I was like, because, man, I'm realizing that what's robbing me of being grateful for right now is that I'm always thinking about in the past regrets, or I'm thinking about the future plans of what I want to do.
For sure.
And so it's robbing me of my right now. And the reality of it is all we have is right now. Like we, the past is gone. The future is not here yet. And all we have is right now. But that's what throws us either into regret or in anxiety, right? Because it's like we could be anxious for the future. We could be in regret about the past, but it's robbing us of right now. And so, man, like, I've just been in this place of, man, just trying to be extremely grateful, man, for the things that God has done and things that God continues to do. And so, like, when it comes to this space that God has, allowed me to steward, I want to steward it well, but I know it's not just for me, man. I want to, have events and have my guys over, man, and us have community here and things of that nature, man. I feel like God gives us things not just for us to enjoy, man, but for community to be built. And so, yeah, man, anytime y'all want to come to the crib, y'all just let me know.
That was I love that. And you know what though? It's funny because I was like, wait a minute, no content. I said, why we bring our stuff? But the second it kicked in, I mean, because it was immediately when it kicked in, I was like, yeah, that's right. Because it's kind of like, why go? It's like going out to hang out with friends and then everybody on their phones at the table at dinner. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, what? We do that anyway. We're going to do that part anyway.
Yep.
And we had a better time for it. We said we always laughed and joked and had a good conversation all night.
It did. But
Oh,
and that's the thing. I feel like innately we're gonna talk about content because that's
right,
all
for sure.
And we're gonna talk about ideas, and I love that. Like, let's talk about it. But right now, let's just talk about it. Let's just brainstorm. Let's talk about the things that we want to do, maybe, or whatever the case is. But that's all in a place of let's just be grateful for where we are right now, and let's just enjoy the present moment. You know what I'm saying? And like that's what I'm trying to be on, man. I just want to enjoy the present moment more than anything else.
Yeah. I think that there's two things that you said, AD, that like really resonated with me. It's funny. I had a bunch of meetings at work today, and a lot of the conversation was about the perfectionist mindset. And like the interesting part, the connected part for me today was when we are perfectionists, we're always looking at like what's not going right or what we need to be doing and what we need to be working on versus the other side of everything that is going right and all the things that we should be grateful for. Yeah, there's always stuff to focus on. There's always things that could be better. But like in that spirit of gratefulness of being able to like change your perspective to say, you know, I'm not going to be a perfectionist, right? Like I got work to do and this I'm always going to be doing that work. But I'm really grateful for all of these things in my life at this particular moment right now in the present.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Josh, that's so true, bro.
Yeah.
Where's Rob? And there you go. Okay.
He coming.
As soon as you
Rob,
say
here with the blurry camera.
Spoke him into existence. Hallelujah.
All right.
Yo.
Rob Howard.
Beep, 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 beep. Did we do the introductions without the?
No.
No,
anybody introduce you like how you say it?
I was waiting for the good doctor.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
I'm not sure if he haven't said anything, so I'm not sure if he's gonna be late. He's gonna miss it. I'm not sure.
Maybe got raptured, and we could be the leftovers.
Oh shoot! Wait, you said what? What you say?
No, I wouldn't be here with you. I'll be gone.
Yeah, I'm about to say, wait, what?
I'll be gone. I'm saved and covered, okay, by the blood.
Let me tell you who ain't gonna be here when that go down.
My life is shaken down, pressed together, and running over. All right.
Let me tell you something. I don't know. I'm kind of in question about myself right now.
I know.
I'm joking.
That's good.
Yeah,
What's up, fellas?
I think I want to start. What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm awesome.
Your mic sounds a little muffled.
Oh man, you sound loud too. That's crazy. I don't know if everybody got to turn down something or I got to turn up something.
Yeah, do I sound low?
No, you
sound
sound
perfect.
good.
Oh,
Yeah, you're out of your crisp.
Okay.
I got my laptop out here. I was thinking about hooking my DJI up to it.
You sound crisp too.
You actually sound good, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you need to do that.
This is straight off the laptop. No, nothing.
Let me text. I'm gonna text him.
I feel like Rob got the light on in the background. I feel like I need to turn my little light on. Hold on.
You want to get your light on, Josh, because Josh got his whole setup over there. I need to go in my office and go to my setup.
There we go.
Bruh, I can't wait till I do my whole setup. I gotta do a whole thing. I just right now just like, all right, I can't wait for that, so let me just get going. But
that little thing, $60 from China before the tariffs, though. I don't know what it's hitting for right now.
Yeah, you might want to throw a little something on top of it right about now. But
160.
yeah. But what's crazy is that makes a whole huge difference in the look.
It does, bro. I love it. Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
Put that link in our group chat, bro.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, you're gonna have to deal. I'm not gonna say his name on camera. They're gonna say I'm racist for saying it, but it's direct to China. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I was about to hear what you was about to say. Hey, best friends quiz. Here's a best friends quiz. This is a tattoo on my body.
Oh, that is?
Where is the tattoo located on my body? That says that.
Who are you asking?
My best friend. What the heck are you talking about?
Yeah, you got a lot.
Wow, how do I know what that is?
You have a lot. I also
are you my friend or what?
I don't remember when you got
Holy. Let me tell you what I don't know about you.
The markings on your body. That's what I don't know.
I know he has a tattoo. I'm trying to think of where, because it's on his arm.
Maybe it's his forearm.
Yeah, it's right there. Yeah.
No. What's this part called right here?
More love. Yeah, you guys did it.
There it is.
Yeah,
you guys did it.
Where's this one, Rob?
Oh yeah, that's front bicep. You got to get the Mario more life.
More life.
Where's okay? You know what? What time is it?
Dr. Dorsey's in here.
Dr. Dorsey's in. He's in the line.
Oh, Dr. Dorsey is in. Dr. Dorsey is in the building.
Hey, I just wanted to call you guys and say good night. Did y'all see that
Oh
trend?
my god,
Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
hilarious.
Good night.
I haven't called nobody, but I figured look at the Lord
Oh.
knocking Michael Jordan over.
What's crazy is though, if you did it, we would totally be like, yeah, that's Rob.
Yeah, that's why it wouldn't work. It wouldn't.
It wouldn't work.
The funny
Everybody
would
would be
be
like, all right, bro, good night. I'll
It
see
wouldn't
you.
work.
Yeah, all right, bro, good night. Yeah, it totally wouldn't work, bro.
It'd be two
the
questions.
thing.
Are you okay? And Robbie be like, yeah, I'm great. I'm like, all right, cool, good
Yeah,
night.
I'm good. I'm good.
All right. Yeah.
We'll see. All right. I think
The
we'll get
fact
this
that
thing going.
yeah, let's get it started. But I just want to let everybody know who's watching. The friend group is such a emotional safe space that I can literally call my friends and be like, I just want to call and tell you I love you, or just call and say I was thinking about y'all, or just call and say good night,
Facts.
and no one will bat an eye.
No one.
Yep.
Facts.
Fact.
We'll be like, well, that's Rob.
Yeah. It's like, hey, I love you too, bro. Good night, man. Man, have a good night, rest.
All right, man. So let's get this thing going. All right. So, okay, let me tell y'all what I called you guys together for. Why the idea I have for this session, group, panel, whatever this is, or whatever this is going to be. We don't know. We don't know yet. Technically, could grow into something. I wanted to get my brother. First of all, I love all y'all. That's first of all. And I wanted to bring you guys together because I feel like the conversations we have just between us as brothers would be really, really cool to have publicly, in a sense, in a controlled setting, because I think the way they help me, I'm sure they'll help somebody else. And I also want to see a different kind of personality on whether it's TV, internet, etc. Right? If so many narratives we fight as men in general. I like to, when people say, if you see something wrong, fix it. Do something about it, right? Change it. Like, so maybe this is a way where I'm like, all right, well, this is my part. I'll start putting these kind of conversations in the mix of all the drama, fighting, bicker back and forth with everybody acting up, right? I want to show them some cool cats that are my brothers, that I call my brothers and my friends, and show what kind of conversation we have. And one thing I love about our unique group is that how unashamedly vulnerable, transparent we are with our feelings, life situations, how the things we deal with, and how open we can be to each other, and how we check in. Right? It's like the good Dr. Charles Dorsey, Mr. Howard, and AD. I watch y'all do check-ins on Instagram a bunch of times, just checking in with each other. So I think I want to display that, and this is what this is going to be. And I got some questions I want to go over, and I think we'll get into some really, really good conversations because I just know the personalities, and I know the people you are. I know that someone will be blessed hearing this conversation. So I like to start with introduction, and I'm not going to introduce you guys. Inside joke, but what I will do is I'll introduce my good brother. On my screen, he's to the right of me, but I'm not sure how y'all see it. But anyway, my good brother Josh is in the building. Josh, you want to introduce yourself?
Man, I hate this part. I'm not good at this part. What's up, y'all? My name is Josh. As you can see from the lovely app mention, I love photography, and that's what I love to do. It's so awkward. You should have had like a.
All right.
Yeah, that's all I got. Look, listen.
All right,
AD,
moving right along.
Over to you, AD. 100%. I deserve that.
Yeah, I'm.
Oh, I did something wrong. Okay.
I'm Adrian Davis now. Everybody calls me AD. Better known as the comma. That's what I am. I'm multiple things.
Oh, all right. I like that.
I love multiple things, known to do multiple things, and not be put into a box. And so from preaching to photography to acting to directing to all the things, I want to go to the grave empty. That's my goal. So that's me.
Okay, I forgot to do something when everybody's talking. I'm supposed to All right. Okay. Now introducing my good brother Mr. Howard 365.
That's what they call me in the streets, but I'm also known as inside joke. What's up, everybody? I like cameras.
Yeah,
All
let's
right.
go, Rob. Let's go.
All righty. Short and concise. I like it. The good doctor is definitely in the building. My good brother Charles, Dr. Dorsey's in the building. How you doing?
Hey, what's up, Luck? What's up, family?
I'm good, man.
I like a lot of things, but inspiration is a thing for me. Getting to connect with brothers is a thing for me. Fitness is a thing for me. In fact, I've had a lot of water to drink, so I'm gonna be on and off the screen.
He got the pee-pee.
Take care of good business, so that I'm not up here leaking.
And then clap it up for a good, healthy bladder. Not bad.
So yeah, for sure.
I have so many questions I could ask the team.
Not right
going from that, but boy.
Okay. First, before we start, I want to do a check-in, if that's okay. Okay.
Yep.
So I'm gonna go around. We're gonna I'm gonna check in. We're gonna do a scale from 1 to 10. I need to know where you are. If you're good, you're good. You know, we good numbers are good numbers. We are always fanning for that. If you're not doing so well, be honest with your brothers. And if there's anything I can do to help, or anything one of our brothers can do to help, just let us know, and we're here for you in that. So I'll start right back at Josh. Josh, where are you right now, 1 to 10, mentally?
Like a 7.
Okay.
I mean, 10 being good.
10 being good. Yep.
Got you.
Yeah, 7 out of 10.
Is there anything not that 7 is bad, but is there, just to ask, is there anything that you need from us, or any kind of support, or anything that you need to get that 7 up to maybe 8, 9, 10? I don't know.
Yeah, give me the lottery numbers, Luck, so I don't have to work no more.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah, I
I'll get straight to the 10. Straight to the 10.
12, 15.
All right, my good brother AD. 1 to 10, where are you now?
Man, honestly, bro, right now, man, I'm at a 9 right now, man.
Awesome.
I'm at a 9. I'm in a great space right now. Extremely grateful, man. It seems like, I'm just in this season. Sometimes like we are in certain seasons and we see God's hand very evident.
For sure.
And I'm seeing His hand very evident in this season right now. So and although that evidence doesn't mean all rainbows, lilies, peaches, and cream,
right? Right.
Because sometimes seeing His hand evident is losing stuff too, and so, but I'm just in a spot of just seeing His hand evident, whether that's presenting or taking away, whatever it is, I'm just seeing it evident. And so, man, I'm extremely grateful for that. So yeah, man, I'm at about a 9, man. I'm in a good space.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Rob, Mr. Howard, where are you now?
So the way I heard the question, my friend Luck said, where are you now on a scale of 1 to 10 emotionally? And I would say, in spite of all the things that are going on or that have happened in the last month, I'm an 8. I want to say a 9, but
that's good.
I think the way the 9 looks on AD, I was like, I don't know if I'm there today.
Right. Right.
You make it look good, Doc. I don't know. But, yeah, like we talked offline or whatever about the details of certain things that have been going on, and it's like, I'm hella proud of myself. Like the way I've been managing stuff, I am proud of me. So yeah, I'm gonna say 8.
If I could add, I'm proud of you also. We've talked about a lot of things, and I know it's been a crazy last few months. A lot of life changes, a lot of not knowing the details of certain things, right? Like being a little bit confused about some things, right? And
in limbo about some stuff.
Right? So to see you through that, even going through that, You wear well. You wear
Yeah,
well.
man.
You know, and I applaud you for that. That's awesome
Thank you.
for sure. Mr. The good brother Charles, Dr. Dorsey. Where are you at now? Where you 1 to 10? Where are you now?
Yeah. Um, honestly, at this exact moment, my body is doing something funny and unexpected.
Okay.
And so I'm kind of, 6'7". I'm trying to see
Okay.
that thing through, but I'm coming off of a very high place. And so, but at this very moment, yeah, I'm about at a 6. And so I'm trying to sort through that, try not to have any concerns. Yeah,
Okay. Is
yeah.
there anything me or some of the other brothers can do to show support and maybe can help with anything about that? We can, even if it's side talk offline or whatever.
I mean, I'm solid right now. It's just a little nuance. We gonna get real vulnerable. I could tell you about it, but it don't nobody in my house know about it either. So I'm having a real time experience. So
Okay.
I'm trying to sort through that, see if I need to stay on or whatever. But I'm good right now.
That's good.
I, need, I think I need to get some food in my system. That's probably the first issue.
Okay.
Then but since we being honest, you invited the wrong brother on the line. To be honest, I'm gonna be
No,
straight up.
I invited the right brother actually.
So I'm trying to navigate that. Nothing to be super concerned about, but when your body does something unexpected, you're like, what is going on? All right.
Yeah.
So yep. But I'm here. I'm all the way here, and I'm what I'm doing is getting me some food to be responsible.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I made this space to be intentional about safe spaces and creating spaces for us to be vulnerable, transparent, or feel seen.
Yep.
And this would be the place, not to push anybody to do anything or say anything, but this would be the place where you can let your hair down and really seek anything you need from your brothers or your friends, or maybe just hear a good word about something. This would be the place to do that. So feel free to, even though I'll be asking questions, anybody can feel free to jump in there and maybe express your concerns, anything you're thinking about with that you think, because any of your true feelings and everything you're going through in real life trumps everything we're doing right now. I mean, I understand this is stuff we do and this is for the people and all that, but I'm always more concerned with your well being than it is for me to get content off. You know what I mean? So just feel free to express yourselves as you see fit when we're going through this conversation. Now, thank you, Charles, for being honest, and I appreciate you, Brent. I'm praying for you always, and you too, Josh. Not that, like I said, not that your numbers are crazy, but I'm always praying for you, for all of us to get to be up. I'll tell you about myself. I'm maybe at about a 5 or 6 myself.
Yep.
Um, I've been doing. It's funny. I've been doing content for the last few days, and I've titled it "Fighting Depression," and I titled it that because I've been find myself going into a dark space with myself mentally about about physically and my finances, and I've been really in a dark space, and I've been trying to do content to kind of fight through just sinking, being in that sunken place of, that's where the devil loves to take over. He loves to attack you when you by yourself and in that place of shame or guilt or whatever you're feeling. And I'm doing. It's funny. I'm at a 5 or 6, but I'm doing better
Yep.
than I was previously. I mean, these last few weeks, a month or so. But with me, I know I'm never. I'm almost never to a point where I get like where it's always cause for concern. I've been stopped hiding that, stopped saying that. It's always. I'm very expressive about, yes, be concerned when I'm going through my stuff, and I say that because when I'm clear headed and I can say it, I'll say it. Because when I'm going through it, I'll never say it. You know what I mean? So it's hard to get me to say like, yeah, bro, I'm hurting sometime when I'm going through my stuff, because I usually duck off and stay away. You know what I mean? So I'm just telling y'all now, I'm good now because we're here, we're talking. but I be in my little space and I be needing something. Like, even if it's just like, bro, you're gonna be good, or some encouragement, or like, yo, just keep going. Like, look, it's funny. This is what y'all don't know. I put the stuff in the chat, like little improvements in my YouTube page and stuff like that, because it's the way y'all encourage me to fill me up. I'm gonna just be honest. Like, mind you, I am happy about my achievements. I get new followers, subscribers, something more. Some my numbers go up. But the way you all encourage me, if you notice, not to be tricky, just being honest, I moved us specifically in a separate group chat.
No, I've seen that.
But I did that because, one, I know I was doing the space, but also it's because it's the way we all show up for each other on a daily, right? So I was like, all right, let me create another space where we do that. And I appreciate that you guys have been doing that. So even though you don't know, you guys have been lifting me up also. To be better, first of all, I always need prayer. Please continue to pray for me. Don't never stop praying for me. And I'll be fighting through. I use content. I use photography, and just your conversation, talking to you guys. Even if we can meet up sometime, even if we can meet up more than we actually meet up. I know all of us are busy and we all doing a bunch of things. But even if we could, I don't know, even if it's like a private call like this, I would love to do that more, because I need to lean on my brothers more than ever. Okay.
I got an idea. I think we should have a rotation. Maybe it's monthly, but a rotation of an invitation for people to pull up to something. It don't got to cost nothing. It could be meet me at the beach, meet me at the park, meet me at Sky Zone, meet me at the bowling alley, meet me at Top Golf. And like, you try to plan it with other people's schedules, but you just do a meet me, and it's like, invite the homies for those. And we know that the time gets passed. So if, let's say Luck be the next one in June, because June just started. You pass it to whoever you want to pass it to, and that person goes next. And we know that person goes next.
I'm 100% with that. That's an awesome idea.
Yeah. Did y'all know it was? Did you know June was men's
mental health awareness?
Mental health awareness month.
Yeah. I had no idea. I literally did not know that.
Oh, I thought that's why you did this. I thought it was
No, I didn't know that. No.
Yeah, last month was Mental Health Awareness Month, but this month is specifically for men, because we have our different challenges around our mental health that doesn't get addressed when the whole gets the food and the support and the light and the attention. Men specifically don't usually get their needs met when everyone gets their needs met.
Wow. So this conversation, bro, is literally in the spirit of, man, even though I'll be down, I'll be in the spirit, bro. But like, look
at you in the spirit.
This conversation is literally what you're talking about, like with the questions I have, and I'm excited that that's super cool. And I think spots like this not only help us as brothers talking to each other. Like I said, it's a viewer, it's somebody listening right now that's going to be blessed by this. I think knowing who you guys are and knowing how you think and how we express ourselves. I think people are going to be blessed by this, and I would love for them to continue if we figure it out. You know what I mean? I do want to start with a question, and and anybody can jump in and answer. We got enough coof to not talk over each other. The first question is, what's something heavy that you've been carrying lately that you haven't had the space to talk about?
Oh man.
Hold on.
This ain't even. You ain't even starting with a softball.
What you mean?
Let me put my headphones on. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's like you ain't even starting with a softball. Look, it's like, whoo.
Yeah, let's go.
You came out with the haymakers.
I got one.
Go ahead, Josh.
Okay. Man, it's a tough one too. It's on the internet. I don't know if I could do it.
Listen, bro.
It's on the internet.
What's the internet version of the one you can do, or one that is good for the internet?
Okay.
Yeah.
This is more about family and family members.
Yep.
And I don't know if either one of y'all have gone no contact with anybody in your family just due to, like, issues from your childhood. But I think I'm in the season of, like, there's a few people I'm no contact with on my side that have been reaching out, and it's just been a struggle. Like it's like it's forgiveness. There's a lot of resentment, and I think the hardest part is like forgiving myself for some of those pieces or feeling that way. Like I feel a little guilt and shame for feeling that way. Because I think you have family members like, oh, that's your so and so. Like, well, like it doesn't matter what the act that was done or the thing that happened to you. You should just talk to those people anyway because they hold a space in your life for whatever reason, right? Because they family. And I think you have two schools of thought, which is maybe a little old school. Is like it don't matter. They could be toxic. They could disrupt your mental health. They could put you in a space that triggers you, and you still got to deal with them anyway. And then I think the school of thought that I come from is protect your peace. And family or not, if you are unhealthy, if you are toxic, if you don't know how to respect boundaries and how to be healthy in a relationship, then there's no reason for us to communicate. But what doesn't get talked about a lot is there is still a level of guilt and shame that you feel as an individual for having to make that decision for yourself. It doesn't feel good to cut somebody off. It doesn't. I don't take pride or joy in saying I'm no longer going to speak to you because you don't know how to behave in a healthy way in my life in the season that I'm in. That benefits me. So I have been struggling with that guilt and shame, even though I know it's the right decision for me and my family and the things that we got going on. There's still a level of guilt and shame and a little resentment. I'm still. It's like a whirlpool of emotions. It's just not cut and dry. So I think there's a lot of like mental turmoil around like how I feel about that, even though I may know that might be the right decision for me.
Yeah, bro, that's powerful. That's powerful. I appreciate that. I want to join you in that space and talk about my own difficulty with that, right? But also adding to the conversation that it was a muscle I hadn't learned how to use, and my grief was learning how to use that muscle properly. Um, you know, and it was a real. I would choose continuing to suffer, right? I would allow people to continue to mistreat me, undervalue me, benefit from the core of who I am, and then I would get upset with myself because of who I am. Right? It's the wrestling match that I would have between. I still got to be who I am, right? And I had to reconcile with myself that just because I was cutting someone off, it doesn't make me a mean person. It doesn't conflict with the core of who I am. And it was really challenging for me, bro. And it honestly still is. And it would float out of family into all relationships. And it was a real crisis because as Rob knows, and I'll say in front of everybody, if I can also insert one of the things I'm struggling with, but I feel like I'm struggling on the up, is I'm learning how to protect my peace. And that's an uphill climb, bro. I mean, I got that climb. I got to have a knife. I got to have a bomb. I got to have all kinds of weapons because the fight for my peace is real. It's a real fight, bro.
Yeah.
And that's been the struggle for me because I had to convince myself that I deserve peace.
Yeah.
Like I should not have to live in a place. I should not have to agree to be in a place where my peace is not allowed to exist.
Yeah.
And so that's been a challenge for me. So I'm siding with you. I'm just joining with you on that, bro.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's wow. That's heavy. You said I have to not convince. You said you don't really. I don't know if you use the word convince myself that you basically show yourself that you deserve peace, and that's deep. You would think, that's a lot of people get a lot of men confused, and not even just men, but we're dealing with men today. So it's funny, we take on so much, right? In the world, whether you just a guy out here, if you're a husband, a father, a brother of some sorts, or maybe you're a big homie to somebody, right? And you take on so much, and a lot of it is about everything and everybody else, right? And then you even feel guilty about what's for you, or or even being asked about you. Even when you're asked about what's for you, what have you done for yourself? What do you do for you? Or my story has been when I started asking myself that question, and I didn't have an answer. I expressed myself to Mr. Howard, and he is the person. I've told the story hundreds of times. He's the person to say you should try photography. You should try the vlogging. You should. I have a camera for you. Let me give you this camera. That's where I got my camera from. He like showed me, man, here, man, there's something that you do a bunch of things. Here, try this. You sound interested. You always ask me about my cameras. Try this. He gave me an out, and it's blessed me. So I can beyond even any examples. It's blessed me so far than what I thought it was going to be. But I was in that space where you just, well, how can I think about me if I got my wife and my son and my friends and my, you know what I mean? How can I think about me? And that's tough. And as far as, with what Josh was talking about, man, I would have at one point considered myself the king of cutoff. Like, bro, it was easy for me to be like, oh, I'm never messing with them again, ever in life. Like, and the difference is I did feel a little bit of joy from like, oh, I'm never ever talking to them. Like easy cutoff. And I used to convince myself that, oh no, because I'm right and they're wrong. So of course I'm protecting my whatever it is, peace and sanity, all these things. But when my life changed, I started looking at it different. Once I gave my life to Christ, I started thinking different on a whole nother level also. And I did I'm doing a lot of correcting. Now actively doing a lot of correcting. And but I used to be that. And I used to, like, I'm not, it was easy for me to do that, but I'm trying to think like, it's funny when you think about the people you care about, the people you love, and for you to be this cutoff guy or king or whatever you was calling yourself, and you think about like it's so easy for you to do that, but these people care about you, and what does that say about you in the grand scheme of who you are to them and who you guys' relationship are? I'm not talking about your situation, but mine. But that made me think about my situation and how I could have done way better, much better with handling that different, and a lot of making up, a lot of forgiveness. You know what I mean? A lot of going over things. It's tough, and it's tough. And I didn't figure none of it out. I'm still kind of in the midst of the journey of it all.
Well, I think what's interesting is to get a little bit deeper on that. Like, obviously, therapy has helped me tremendously in my life, and I will tell anybody, get a therapist and do that work.
For sure.
If you're really interested in doing that work, right? Like, obviously, no pressure, but it's helped me a lot. But a lot of it, what I found was it was a self-worth problem rooted all the way back to how I grew up and who raised me and the things that I had to, deal with. So for me, I don't know if Dr. Dorsey feels this way, but a lot of it was like I was worried about people abandoning me. So I would do whatever I could to keep them in the good grace, which means suffering through their toxicity, through their, absenteeism, through like me overextending myself in ways because I wanted to make sure that the relationship was whole. Right. And I would do that all at the cost of my sanity, my peace, my stress, my whatever, because those things were so important to me. And it took a long time to realize like relationships require work, right? And we never gonna see eye to eye. Rob and I have been friends for a very long time, over 15 years at this point, right? it's not all roses every time. Like I may do something to piss him off. He may do something, but the recovery of that and like the love, it's easy
Mm,
because I'm not expecting him to do things for me in a certain. He's not expecting. It's just love. It's just genuine, right? So then you talk, hey man, you didn't show up to this thing. You didn't communicate. Oh my bad. I'm sorry. Like we have that, right? So there was a sense of safety there. It took me a long time to get there though. Like I didn't always feel that way. I was always worried about how my actions would impact somebody else. So then I'm just gonna move how I feel out the way and prioritize how you feel for everything. And that leads to burnout, that leads to stress, that leads to depression, that leads to all the things, right? I'm not giving
Resentment.
myself enough space, right? And I think having a strong group of friends, what did we say the other day? That was hilarious, but it's true. Like when you don't be thinking right, your friend got to tell you that you ain't thinking
sure.
right. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And like, I appreciate,
I think you ain't thinking right.
I think you ain't thinking right. You need to, you need to adjust the way that you think and it's perspective, right? Like you so one track mind down a thing because of how you feel and it's
Yeah.
wrapped in your emotion. And sometimes your friend will pull you out of that. They'll be like, hey man, listen, you too deep. I need you to
Yeah.
come back up to the surface. Like you thinking about it in this way. So for me, it was all wrapped in like not being good enough and like worried about the people that I love the most abandoning, the friendship or the family dynamic or whatever the thing was. But then you realize like they love you, they love you. Whether they're here for a season or a lifetime, like you got to be able to accept those particular pieces
For
because not
sure.
everybody is here for your whole life, right? They play a part. It's a season. It might be a very long season, but you got to make room. I think AD said that earlier, right? It's like sometimes you and nine, but things are being removed from you, and you like,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
I need to make space for that.
AD, what about where you at in this? As far as the question that was asked, can you run the question back also?
Yeah, no, I think I, I think for me, right now, it'd probably be uh, it's a collaboration of what everybody's kind of said,
Okay.
right? I think my biggest battle has been me seeing myself not according to a past version of myself,
Mm,
right?
okay.
Um, and being okay with how past things have turned out. I think, man, like one of the things that I think that we don't look at enough or address enough is that there are bloodline issues, right? That we have. Like if diabetes run in your family, if prostate cancer runs in your family, if breast cancer runs in your family, if those type of things. But then also too, one of the things that is ran in my family that is not you know looked at or been able to gauge from a doctor's appointment is regret runs in my family. Depression
Hmm.
depression runs in my family. Suicidal ideations run in my family. But because we have continued to not talk about those things because they're taboo subjects, but I looked at my father and my father's no longer here, but I've looked at my father and I remember me and my father could not develop a better relationship because only time that when we would talk or when we would encounter each other, the conversation would always be geared around the things that he missed, the things he wished that he would have did differently. And I used to try to overemphasize to him, hey man, you know, we can't change that. All we have is, the future. Let's focus in on that. But now I'm finding myself as a grown man still reliving the past and having conversations about the past. And that is the emphasis of my mere existence as a man. And so
Wow.
now I'm finding myself duplicating the same patterns that my father had. And so I am trying to desperately work on that space or work in that space, bro. So it's been a challenging space to be totally honest.
Yeah.
Um, because you have to look at yourself to say, you know, even if I did things wrong, or hey, I didn't do this right, or I should have did this differently, or should have did this. A part of that is like, you gotta deal with it, right? You gotta admit it, you gotta live with it, you gotta, and we're just taught to kind of suck it up and so forth and so on, and keep it pushing. But the challenging part, man, I think that, uh, and even as believers, I think that we operate within a religion that screams change and forgiveness, but does not really believe change and forgiveness.
Mm. That's deep.
Because
For real.
because once you are something, you are that. But the whole concept of our religion is that change can happen and
It's
lives can
forgiveness.
change
Yep.
and forgiveness and things of that.
Yep.
That's so good, AD.
But I don't
Yep.
I don't I don't think we really believe that, man.
That's so good, bro. That is so good.
Yeah.
Listen,
Wow.
um, I know we got to get to Rob, but let me just say this. What I was hearing you say was, and one thing I'm faced with as well, and I imagine that, well, we've shared stories, you know, is it a blessing or a burden for me to have the opportunity to get different results with the same hand?
Mm.
Like, is that a gift to me? Or is that something that I should be really upset about? Because we talk about facing the same avenues of decision. And the expectation is that I would get a different outcome. What kind divine force would deal me the same hand, bro? Anyways, I'm
Wow.
stopping.
Rob, Mr. Let me call you Rob and Mr. Howard, so just to get used to that.
So there's that.
Would you like to add anything or?
Yeah. I did a training today, day one of restorative justice training, and I posed to the group um, 3 questions from what is his name? Franz Fanon. Who am I? Am I who I say I am? And am I what I ought to be, or everything that I ought to be?
Mhm.
And I think something that, at this season of my life, this stage of my life, that I fight is I don't fit in the box of what a man is. I don't live up to my father's expectations, society's expectations, my own expectations. I think, even connecting to the month of mental health awareness, mental health awareness month, one of the struggles of men's mental health is not fitting the stereotypes or the image of a man, and what ideas come to mind when we think of man being self-sufficient, not needing nobody, being tough, not being weak, not being hurt, having it figured out, knowing all these different weird ass ideas. Sorry if you can't say anything, but I don't fit none of that. If that's what
Yeah.
a man is, I don't fit that. And I struggle. Something I'm dealing with. Sorry, my bad, camera. Um, something that I'm struggling with that's tough. I don't have family, so my friendships are y'all are my family, right? But I don't
You sound
have
a
like
little muffled.
close relationships. Huh?
Am I the only one? You sound a little muffled.
Did it
Am
change?
I? Am I the only one hear that?
Yeah,
You
he
solid, you solid, bro. Go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, okay. My bad. My maybe it's me. Okay, my bad.
Um, one of the struggles with it is um, I don't have a cushion. Like some people have the privilege of if something goes wrong, if they're facing a wild time, they got somebody who can kind of like hold them up, relieve some stress, pull up.
Yeah.
I don't got siblings that'll come to fight for me with me. I don't got nobody's financial, bank account that's like, hey, I got something for you. As a matter of fact, I've been the person that people call. So like
Mhm.
when something is hard and I don't got it for the person that knows I got it. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, so getting hit in seasons like that where it's like, not only do I not have it, I got to deal with saying nah, or I say yeah because I don't want them to go too far
Oh wow.
down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'll eat from my storage, my savings, my silo, because it's like, dang, if they're asking me for it, I know what that means. I'll figure it out, and I'll just try to figure it out. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? By not having a cushion, it's scary. I don't know how I made it this far. I don't know how I still got my peace of mind. If it ain't a miracle, if it ain't God's work, I don't know how I've made what I've made work with
Mm.
the things that not only am I holding and I'm showing up for, the people that I care about, just not having a cushion.
Scary.
Bruh, what?
Scary. Yeah. But even through that, the fact that you're still at 8, you know what I mean? For me, that's the when you talk about God's grace, you're talking about having just being grateful or just the faith.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it's kind of like, knowing a couple things. Knowing that you're gonna be okay. It's just we messed up right now.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff is going on. I'm not gonna be okay. And also not really tripping on things you can't control. We wreck ourselves a lot of times about things that just are happening that are out of our power. And that sometimes they can collide. Those two worlds can collide. You
I'll
try to
give
deal
you
with.
another side of that. I'll give
Mm-hmm,
you another side of that. So not only is that true, there's stuff
mm-hmm,
that we can't control and just kind of peace of mind of that. I've said recently, I don't know who I said it to. It might have been one of y'all or it might have been Mac. He was out here for the week. But I was like, low key, I got more peace of mind right now because I didn't have peace waiting for the ball to drop.
Yo.
ooh, wow, okay.
Yo.
You waiting for some like I know it's coming. I know a punch is coming. I know it's about to get bad,
Yep,
and you can't sleep. Like you listening outside, like what is that noise or that phone
yep.
call? You like, is it like, is this the email? Is this the meeting that's about? Is this the
Wow.
talk that's about? Like that anxiety that I know it could be like this. I know they might come and collect the thing. I know they might be caught. I'd rather just get all the way there than the waiting
That's,
game.
bro, we talk about that so many times. I was talking to I would say a celebrity friend of mine, and he was talking about how much he grinds. And I was telling bro, like, don't you ever like relax though? Like you don't chill, you don't ever just like, you know what I mean? I'm trying to tell him like don't you ever just chill? But he's like, man,
Can
I
you
can't.
chill?
He said, he
Can you
said,
chill?
he said, I'm never going to be broke again. Like his whole fuel was like going back to these horrible, quote unquote, his words, not mine, these horrible times that he remembered coming up when he didn't have, he couldn't do for, and all these things. So his whole movement was fueled off that. I'm never going there again. So I have to overwork to push myself further away from that again.
I'd rather die getting this and figuring it out
Yeah.
Get rich or
than go
die
back to
trying.
that place.
Get
Yeah.
rich or die trying. You know what I mean? That was interesting the way when you said that because, man, it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. Right? It's like I could suffer in the suffering and sit in this and then just let it overtake me, right? And even when I'm good, I'm thinking about the suffering. So now I'm still technically thinking about the suffering,
Yeah.
right? When I never really let it. Yo, that's crazy.
Well, let me say something before you, Doctor. So what y'all talking about? Like, I have this conversation with myself once a month. It
Wow.
never leaves me. And maybe Rob will remember this. So I have a 15-year-old. He about to be 16 this year. He just finished 9th grade. I was married in my early 20s and got divorced very quickly after that. It was a quick little 1 year, 2 year thing, right? I remember my son being 2 in a 1-bedroom off Washington and McLaughlin in LA, like Sepulveda, like going Mar Vista towards
Over,
Venice,
yeah,
right on
yeah.
on Washington, getting laid off from my job, couldn't pay my rent, having my son with me, living with me, right, taking care of him at 2, trying to figure borrowing money from Ed, like to Rob's point, borrowing money from everybody I possibly could just to stay.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
I told myself I will never, ever. I relive that moment. And I feel like this is a lot of the generational trauma when you coming up. We always feel like we're one bad decision away from being broke. Always. So it's like
trauma. It's trauma from poverty.
100%. Like I always feel like I'm one bad decision away from like being right back in that spot. And I think that fear drives a lot of like I was telling Rob the other day, like I've never worked more ever in my life than I am right now in the season in my life right now. Like I wish I had more time to spend with y'all and like do things and like really pouring. I'm just working. That's just it. It's just work.
Yeah.
Which I think is okay to a certain extent. And like there's a part of that I'm enjoying coming into that and like really trying to figure out who I am in that space. But also it's a lot of fear. It's just driven by fear. I don't ever want to go back to that
But
time.
I think, Josh, I don't mean to cut you off, but I do have a question for that though, because I'm in that same space, right? And I think all of us are kind of in that same space
Mhm.
where it's this almost invisible but very big, very heavy pressure of the possibility that we could go back to a stage or to a season we don't want to go to, or we're in that season right now and we're working like hell to get ourselves out of, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um, my fear though is that because we get so enamored with that, like when do we ever get to a point where it's enough and get to a point where we can take a break? Because honestly, bro, I was thinking about this today. Like, I worked all weekend. I worked all week. I think the most time that I was able to kind of like chill was Monday when the guys came over, and I kind of chilled then, and I think that was kind of it for the week. And I started to realize a pattern. I started to look at my weeks, and I'm like, I'm not taking an off day because I'm working for this nonprofit Monday through Friday, and I'm doing my photography stuff and content and editing on the weekends and taking clients and doing video shoots, photo shoots. Then now I'm consulting with podcasts, and now I'm producing podcasts. And then I'm like, so it's like, when do we get to this space? Because what I'm realizing too is that at some point the pursuit of our safety financially is also the negligence of our family emotionally,
Not just the family, bro.
even ourselves.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Even our friendships, even our spiritual life. I know. So I used to do this retreat for boys and men of color under Barack Obama's initiative back in the day called My Brother's Keeper. And one of the most beautiful parts of the camp, while we were pouring into these young men and mentoring and we're doing healing work and all this stuff, one of the best parts is like it's a diverse group of men from different areas of California, different walks of life, different seasons of life. We just get to have real conversations with each other. And when the conversation comes up about love, there was some young men who are mentors. They're not kids anymore. They're like, yeah, I don't know about love right now. I just got to get this money. That's one version of the trauma. The other version of the trauma was, I know exactly who my wife is, but I don't feel like I can get married, or I don't think that we're ready to have a child because I haven't made the da-da-da-da. And it's almost like a level of financial responsibility as an excuse to detach from a thing that might be fulfilling on one side, but a burden, a pressure, a fear, a stress. So we're avoiding living because we're afraid of the pain that comes with that. And we keep delaying a beautiful thing because we're not where we need to be. It's not what it looks like, the way it's supposed to look. Man, all that is crazy.
Yo, Rob, please let me insert this, man. And I think you've helped me to see this. I just want to, like, let me just wrestle with this publicly because, Luck, you said something that really triggered me. You said everything's going to be all right. Let me please, just give me a couple of minutes.
Mm-hmm.
What if it's not?
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Like I think it is sometimes, and I mean, I'm not directing this at you, Luck. Sometimes the most toxic thing that you can do is believe that it's going to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes it's not going to be okay. And what I'm taking from Rob's, I thought what Rob was going to say was the most beautiful place that you can come to is embracing that it might not be okay. You understand? Like freeing yourself from it needing to be okay. Because you have a freaking PhD in surviving when it's not okay. Like there is a version of you there. That is amazing. Love that. I feel like cursing. Love that person. Like, give me the courage to go to where it's not okay and not necessarily live there, but give me the courage to be my same confident self there when it's not okay. Like, give me the smile. Give me the ability to smile there too. So I don't have to, I'm sick of fearing that place in my head. And I feel like I'm almost fighting to learn how to do that so that it not being okay doesn't drive me to the fear place. Like it should be okay that it's not okay. Like why the hell does it have to be okay? Excuse me. And so we sometimes reinforce these habits just to give ourselves anesthesia, to numb ourselves to all of that fear. And I'm just saying, like, I think it's beautiful and freeing and liberating to at least be like, I'm a beautiful person, even when it's not okay, bro. Like, and this is what I love about this group. This is what, man, this is why I hold y'all so close. Cause it's like I can come to y'all and it not be okay.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all, I mean, y'all crack jokes. Y'all wrap y'all arms around me. Shoot, you may share a French fry if I'm hungry. You feel me? Like we got all of these places, and the beautiful thing about us coming together is that, and I think this is the core. This is what gives birth to this space. Ain't nobody okay in here.
Mm-hmm.
It's not okay, bro. Let's be clear.
We make not okay look really good.
Yeah, and but I think the making it look good is I found myself here, a part of myself that I refuse to see. And I'm not saying I'm living here, but I'm saying the kind of discovery that I have been able to achieve in the space. What? Anyways, so that's all I'm saying about that. Like to it doesn't remove the fear, Josh, but it does allow me to see how precious these moments are while I'm there. Right. And I actually am fighting to bring my peace there too. Like I'm not leaving my peace in the space where it's okay. Hell no. I'm not doing I'm not doing it. I'm bringing my peace to the place where it's not okay. I'm gonna find some peace when it's not okay, so that when it is okay, that peace is on 30. You feel me? Like so. Anyways,
Yeah, I think. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Well, I was just respond to what Charles was saying, and I totally understood what you were saying by that, and I know it wasn't directed. I need to be more clear about what I was saying when I said everything's be okay. Everything's going to be okay. I, without giving context, sometimes I speak from faith based, and when I speak from faith based, everything will be okay. There is no what if it isn't for me. And so but and first of all, everybody don't believe what I believe. That's one thing. I got a lot of viewers that people think differently. I totally understand what you're saying, totally. But when I do speak from everything, so my drive is that, um, for example, if let's take faith out of it. right? If people believe that no matter what, we're going to die and then it's just going to be over. There's nothing to look forward to. That's it. The end of this world, you're going to die. That's it. And we're just going to be gone and poof, you're in air. That's it. It's oblivion, whatever. Then I wonder how people would live then for the people who don't have faith, right? I wonder what the kid would do who know that, who's thinking like, well, sometimes it won't be okay in your way. Or the kid that's been told you're never going to be SHIT, right? And he believes it because in his world, everything is not okay. A bunch of things, it seems like everything's not okay. So how does he live? He lives like everything's not okay. And he finds himself in situations where everything's not okay. And everything's never okay. It seems like that in that way because he's wrapped himself up in that. So I spoke without giving context to that. But so when I say it, I'm talking to Rob, who's a believer. So I'm talking in context of that. But I totally understand what your premise of what you were saying. Totally understand that. Everything, because it's like saying, "Oh, you're gonna get that job. Don't worry about it." But he might not get the job. Like it might be something to worry about a little bit, right?
That's not the okay. The okay is it's going to go exactly how you write the script.
Yeah. So I understand, but I love the way you broke that down because you're right. Here's the thing. You know why it's gonna sound crazy. I never said it out loud because sometimes I'll be so afraid about what God's gonna do. But you know why I love the struggle? Because the struggle shows me exactly who I'm going to be on the other side of it. I love to go through the fire because I know that I now can go through the fire. I'll run through the fire next time. I'll break through the fire next time. So when I'm going through my things, even now, right? So a 5 or a 6 mean depression, dark, it's on me. That's my 5 or 6, right? But I also pray through this. I know God's going to get me through this. So for me, I'm looking at it like, oh, I just went to a city I don't like. And I'm still here. I haven't jumped on the plane yet. So I am okay because I know this ain't the end of my journey. And to get deeper than that, if I die tonight, I'm the best version of myself I'll ever be spiritually because I know where I'm going, right? But let's take that out of it. That's what I mean by me sitting in this and me sitting in my 5 or 6 because I know what God said about if you sit in that. If you are grateful in that, I know what happens after that. I know how pleased He is for us to commit and still give the glory, even going through these things. So when I talk from that point of view, I got to give context because you're right. People are looking and listening that may not have that context, but you spoke that beautifully, and I respect that.
I think that what you're saying is also a clear up. I want to make it clear up that sometimes you'll hear how people are doing emotionally, but that is not the number if the question was different. If the question was, how is your life going right now? That's not what I answered.
Right, for sure.
What I answered was, how am I dealing with the life that I'm living?
Right.
How am I dealing with how things are going?
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. And in that, what's crazy is what I heard you say, Luck. You were like, you said numbers. You were like 6. Like it's dark, it's hard, it's a 6, it's a 5. Mm-hmm. What I didn't hear you say is it's a 1.
Yeah, it's never a 1.
Right?
Not for me.
But there are times that there are people, specifically even thinking about men, where when things are bad and they get worse,
it's a 1.
Mm-hmm. Like I thought I was at a 1, but I am not at what I thought what a 1 was. Life went from a 1 to a negative. Like a neggy.
A neggy is crazy.
And that's why I always, even these kind of conversations where I try to remove faith for context, but also the reason why I put faith back in there is because that's what always protects me from 1.
Yeah.
Wait, but look, to say that it's bad equates to not exercising faith?
No, not saying it at all.
That's what I'm asking. Because
no, I'm not saying that. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not saying that at all.
Yeah, and I think it's important because you said I'm always coming from
good.
Well, you said I'm always coming from a faith-based place. Mm-hmm. I feel like my statement is doing the same. I really do. And I feel like I want to put those two right next to each other, and I want to give people permission to affirm their faith there. Like there has to be space for that. And I feel like this is not what you're doing, but I feel like this is where the church gets it wrong. They don't even acknowledge. Man, I feel like this.
But I don't mean to jump in real quick. I don't mean. See, I think I'm going to the ultimate destination. I'm not stopping here. But real quick. I gotta say this because you're not saying what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm going to the ultimate destination. So when I say we're going to be okay, if I'm talking to you as a believer who know what I'm talking about, right? If I say we're going to be okay, I'm talking about not here on this. Whatever we're dealing with here is going to be a thing. I have no control on what goes on here, right? What I'm saying at the end of it all, who I am and what I believe in and what you believe in, as Dorsey, I don't know everybody else.
Sure.
At the end of it, you're going to be okay. So I don't mean it here. We're dealing with this realm. And I'm talking past that, which is why I had to correct myself and say, I got to add context because everybody's not talking past that. People want their heaven on earth, right? That people do. They want to be fine now. They want no struggle right now while they're alive in this flesh, right? I'm not talking about that kind of understanding. I'm talking past that. So when I say I'm talking from like at the end of the day we're gonna be all because I know who's on our side. I know who stands victorious by me. I know who's the most undefeated, the great I am. So I'm speaking from that context of if he's by my side, everything's going to be okay. Literally, it's not even a debate or argument. I'm not saying we can't debate or argument. I'm saying that we just have a miscommunication on what I'm speaking of and what you.
No, I don't think I'm.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah. Can I jump in? Can I jump in for a second? Let me jump in for a second.
Sure.
Because I'm with Dr. Dorsey. And I'll tell you why, right? Being raised in the church and like having a strong foundation there as well. I'm with Dr. Dorsey. It's okay for it not to be okay. It's okay. And to acknowledge that it's not okay. It's not okay. Mm-hmm. It's okay to say it's not okay. And it's okay for it to not be okay. Mm-hmm. Giving yourself permission to say, hey, it's not okay right now. And I think what I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. Dorsey, around the church, right? Sure. It's a lot of what you're talking about, look, in terms of like the long term and the goal. Like it's going to be okay. It's always going to be okay, right? Because we know at the end what that end is, right? And that's going to be okay. But also, and what people are sitting in the moment, like right now in this moment, right? If Dr. Dorsey's saying I'm a 6 and I'm not okay, and that's okay.
No, I understand.
Right. Even with the faith, even with I know that eventually it will be, but it's not okay right now.
I don't want you to think if I use the words it's going to be okay, that's my acknowledgement of in this moment it's not okay.
Got you. Okay. Got you.
Sure.
So but like all on the same page, I just want to be clear about that.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I want to be clear too. Mm-hmm. I want to say, and then listen, y'all gonna kick me off this stream, and you know what? Y'all unfollow me. No, I'm for real. And AD knows where I'm going. AD knows exactly where I'm going. Because there is a not okay at the end of faith too. Let's be upfront now. I recognize that we have to tell people at the end it's gonna be okay. We have to tell people that.
For believers.
Wait, but believers need to hear. All right, just let me get through this. Because I recognize that you have responsibility to be sure that you're clear about where you are, and I want to affirm that. I simultaneously want to add to that.
For sure.
That even biblically speaking, and we don't want to talk about it, there is at the end, there is a not okay. You understand what I'm saying? There is a designation. Now, you ain't got to get into it.
I got it. That's what I'm saying. We say the same thing.
What it does is it drives people to such fear. They can't even get into the depth of what we believe.
Right.
Because they're so afraid to deal with the not okay. Yeah. And all I'm saying is there are people there to redeem, to welcome in, to affirm, to see that in their mind, they are as much of a believer as you are. And at the end, they see a not okay. And so how do we have conversation with them in a way that at least affirms that where they are is a place where we can find love and beauty, and you don't even have to leave that place for me to affirm your faith. I can be with you there, and we can have substantive, rich, deep, theological, divine conversation that allows us to proceed in the today, even with the understanding that there is a okay at the end and there's a not okay at the end, is what I'm offering to the conversation.
Well, and I think that
That's fine.
what both of you all, I think, two things can be correct at the same time, right? So what both of you all are saying is correct. I think that what we on this earth, even biblically, where we look at, matter of fact, perfect example. I went to a Bible study on Wednesday. Darius Daniels did a Bible study out here in LA on Wednesday, and in one of his points, he said we can acknowledge the truth without over spiritualizing it,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the truth of the moment, and he used Goliath, and he was talking about the truth is Goliath is huge. The truth is the situation is insurmountable. The truth is that this is that this thing is bigger than me. That is the truth of the reality. The fact, though, is although this is bigger than me, it's not bigger than the God in which that I serve. Right. So my truth and my fact may be different. My truth is that I may be a 6 and I'm not well. But my fact is, but if I tap into my faith, now we do have to deal with the minutia of getting to the faith practice, the faith,
Mm-hmm.
the faith practicum, because the reality of it is, and I think this is what Dr. Dorsey is trying to, is saying, is that we can say by faith everything will be okay long term. But to feel that and to say that, we may not even have enough faith on our lips and in our hearts and in our minds to even articulate that because we don't feel that. And there have been times where I know God, I love God, but
Mm-hmm.
there have been times that even in the midst of what I'm dealing with, it's been very hard for me to see God and acknowledge the fact that, man, this thing gonna be okay at the end. But right now, and I think that sometimes we do, and look, you are creating, Luck has, Dr. Charles has, Rob has, and Josh has. We all have been creating spaces for men to not be okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? This is what this is
Yep.
right now. This is a space for men to say, yo, I'm not okay. But also, look, giving them the hope for that it can be. You know what I'm saying? That what you feel right now is not a final sentence. It is not it is not a by all end all. It is not the end of everything. But at times we can feel that we won't be. You know what I'm saying? And I think that there are certain mental I think that there are certain mental blocks that keep us from tapping into faith faith things. I got ridiculed real bad because I was on this panel, and I was open about me dealing with suicidal ideations, and I say I'm a suicide attempt survivor because I am. And somebody said, "Well, you would have went to hell." And I said, "Well, here's the thing. We know it's certain things biblically, but also I asked them this. I said, if somebody died to cancer, do they go to hell? They said, no, of course not. I said, if somebody died to AIDS, do they go to hell? They said, of course not. I said, did somebody die to high blood pressure? Do they go to hell? They said, of course not. I said, do we not understand that mental illness is a sickness? Mentally, there is a block that tells me that there is no hope for a future. There is no hope for tomorrow. That is
Mm-hmm.
a mental illness. So even in the concept of my mind telling me that this is what I need to do to end certain things, I think that certain times we have to create this space. And like I said, look, you're doing this. We have to create this space that allows people to and especially men, to create a space that allows people to say, yo, I understand my faith. I've heard this my entire life.
Mhm.
Now I'm having to live out what I said that I knew, and I'm having a hard time doing that
Yeah.
because there is a block between what I know to believe and
Mhm.
what now I am having to live out. There
Yeah.
is some there is something that is stopping me from getting to that space. So look, you are exactly right. It will be okay in the end for the believer. But then when somebody is questioning their faith and if they believe, so now we got to get them back into the belief system.
For sure.
You
For
see what I'm
sure.
saying? And I think that's
Sure.
what you're doing. You're getting people back into a belief system.
I think that
Yeah,
goes
I don't.
to
I
hold
don't.
on, Lord.
Oh, go ahead, Rob. Go ahead.
Yeah. I think one of the things that brings me to is kind of like where we were at the beginning when I was talking about like the mental health awareness month in June. One of the reasons why men don't speak a lot about how we're really feeling and how we're really doing mentally and even spiritually is because it's better to have the appearance than to tell the truth and be vulnerable and not get needs met. If I say, hey, I'm short $10, and someone goes, it's gonna be all right. I know it's gonna be all right. I know we're gonna go to heaven. I know this ain't the worst. If I got bad diagnosis from the hospital, I got bad news about my mom's diagnosis. I got bad news about work stuff. And I'm tired, I'm angry, I'm scared, I'm frustrated, I'm weak. I don't want to tell nobody. One of the reasons why I don't want to tell nobody is because I can't deal with how I'm gonna feel if y'all motherfuckers don't respond to my needs the right way.
Mm-hmm.
How many times have I, as a man, try to be honest and vulnerable to somebody, and in my face they responded with more things that hurt? They didn't console like I'm taught to do to someone who's crying. They didn't comfort like I've tried to be taught or tried to do when someone was in pain. They didn't offer me no medicine, no balm, no food when I was hungry. What they offered me was, in the end, it's going to be okay. And right now, what I need is for someone to sit with me and cry with me. What I need is someone to lay with me in my pain. What I need is for someone to seem like they can understand and they care about how I feel in this moment, and not ignoring that, yes, in the end, everything is going to be okay. But right now, it's ugly.
Yeah.
Like we're so quick to go to the it's going to be okay that it turns off some people from being vulnerable because we go, oh, you don't get it. I know what you own, but I'm not on that right now. What I'm talking about is the bills. What I'm talking about is the diagnosis. What I'm talking about is my back. What I'm talking about is my relationship. What I'm talking about is my faith. And some people can't hear it because they're so beautiful and full of faith that they can't sit in the right now.
Yeah, no, I understand that, and AD, you as well. To ask the question first, though, because I heard you say it, and then I heard AD say it, and then Charles said it first. I'm getting the idea that you are saying that I said, "Oh, everything's gonna be okay."
No.
Mm-mm.
Okay, because I know everybody said it.
No.
And
Look, well, to that point, that I'm you came back and said me acknowledging or me saying it's going to be okay is saying that is I
It's not
understand
okay.
it's not
Yeah.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that was context for me. I
okay, got it. Okay,
I
got it. Okay,
understood that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
I
you clarify context, we got where you're coming from.
yeah.
got it. Okay.
No.
I would never do that to friends going through something because I got to think. So my pastor know I say this all the time. Look, don't church me right now.
Yep.
I'm there where you at. Like, oh, don't church me right now. So I know because I don't like people do that. Right. Right now, I need something right now to console me right now in the moment. Yes, I know I'm gonna be cool. I know I'm saved. I know I'm gonna go to heaven. I know all my things. Right. But right now, this bill is due and they owe me. Right. You know what I mean? So I understand that. But I just needed to be clear on that because the way I used it wasn't in context of how I was hearing it when y'all was shooting it back. Not back my way. I'm saying
I don't think
speaking.
we were shooting at you. I think we were talking.
No,
about
I know.
Generally, yeah.
Okay, for sure.
Can I? There's something that AD said has been just sitting on my heart, and is it okay if I pivot And
Yeah,
just
I'm gonna switch devices, okay? Because
okay.
I gotta
Sure.
move
Go
location.
ahead, because I got another question anyway. I'll ask another question after you anyway.
Okay. I use this analogy a lot. And like AD, you were talking about, you know, I think it's where I'm at a little bit, like kind of living in the past, right? And you like the regret pieces, you like regret runs in the family, like those particular pieces. I use this analogy a lot when I'm like mentoring or talking to other people, and it's in the context of our home, right? It's not your physical home, but your mental home, your spiritual home, like whatever that looks like. And I think men, when we talk about me like battling depression or the therapy pieces, anxiety is a forward-looking thing. Like, how am I going to pay this thing that's coming up that's not right here? Or depression is the back. Like, I regret doing all these things. And ultimately, those places, like you are living in a home that doesn't belong to you. And we have a habit, and this is the analogy, right? Like our home is filled with trophies. When you walk into your spiritual and mental home, it's your full life's work of your art and your trophies, your wins and your losses, your heartaches and your triumphs. And sometimes we get caught living in a home that doesn't belong to us. Like you are supposed to learn something from your neighbor's house, right? Like you went through something traumatic as a kid and growing up, your dad was an alcoholic and you saw him, the way he treated your mom and the shit he put you, sorry for cursing a lot, right? And you're supposed to take those particular pieces, learn from them, put them up in your home and learn from that and move forward. But you live in your house, right? And I found myself living in a house that didn't belong to me for a really long time. And that was looking back at regret and depression, and then also forward looking and anxiety around things to come that I didn't know how I was going to overcome in those moments. So I feel like that really impacted me, AD, on that side. Like I feel like we do a lot of living in a house that doesn't belong to us. When we're just supposed to learn from that experience, take that trophy home, put it up on the mantle, right? And say, oh, okay, I remember that. And I know what I learned from that experience and I'm gonna move differently, right? Like I'm not gonna let people, abuse me in this way, right? Or I'm gonna put the right guardrails and guidelines in and boundaries in when I'm dealing with people that show up this way, right? But what happens is we end up living in a house that don't belong to us.
Yeah, man.
And you end up staying there for an extended period of time, and then like those things. And that's the part about this community and like talking about these things about mental health. Like what I said it earlier, like sometimes you'll think it'd be wrong, and your friend is like you spending too much time in a home that does not belong to you. Mm-hmm. Take what you are supposed to learn from that residence and bring that back home. Put it on the mantle. Put it in a bookcase so you can remember what you needed to learn to be healthy to move forward, but don't live there. Right. So I kind of wanted to get that part out, Eddie, because I think that spoke to me about,
yes, sir.
Thinking about the past.
I appreciate that.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that, bro.
Let me I got another question for you guys, if it's okay. When was the last time you felt truly seen or understood, and what did that moment mean to you? Anybody can go first.
Oh man, you had me talking about my wife.
Talk about it, bro.
I feel like, and I told Rob this, like a true partnership is something I don't know if I've ever really experienced until I'm at where I'm at. Like what does like true partnership look like? And I know we have this thing like men are providers and you got to do this, you got to do that. Like life is hard, man. Like just be in life, right? Like things you didn't ask for that hit you as you just walking. You walking down the street, you get hit with a baseball bat, and you like your whole life is up in, and I got to figure this shit out.
Yeah.
So I think being in a space where you have a partner or friends where you can like say the thing that you wouldn't normally say that you bury. And for somebody to be like, I hear you, I see you, I feel you, how can I show up for you in a way that makes that a little bit more bearable? Even if you don't need me to say nothing, you just want me to just be here and listen. So I appreciate experiencing that in this grown age. and really having a true partner that I could. I mean, it don't matter what I'm going through. Like I feel so content in that space. Like I could just show up and like I could say the wildest thing. Like, hey, I thought about this today, and it was a really wild thought.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking that like 15 years ago when I was down bad, and I had that thought, and it's like, oh, okay, well, what do you need from me?
Yeah.
It's not judgment. It's usually, what do you need from me?
You know, to add to what you're saying, people don't talk about how men feel, whether it's husbands or boyfriends or whatever, because they talk about women insecurity all the time, right? But they don't talk about the security and safe spaces that we feel a lot of times when we do have that person, that other person that knows all our dirty, nasty secrets and all our things, and know, you know what I mean? Like that, having that person who knows you more than anybody, and that comforts you, can shows you that person that can take one look at you and know what mood you're in, and know what to do to help you in that, know when to get loud or when to back up. You know what I mean? Like, I'm secure in that. I used to live a wild life. I used to live a wild life, and it was to like when I started when I got with my lady, and I started, you know, doing the whole like in love and together thing and relationship thing. It's like, wow, wait a minute. I don't desire all these other things I thought I needed so much, because it all came packaged in this person. Like, you know what I mean? And it's deeper than people think. People worry about so much about sex part, right? Forget that part. It's the conversations, right? It's the.
I don't want to forget it all the way though. Look,
I'm sorry.
I don't want to forget it all.
I'm not ruling it all the way out.
I mean, you know, in my, you know, I don't want to forget it all the way. I mean, yeah, I
I'm
mean,
not ruling it all.
I want the partnership and the conversations, but
yeah, I'm not ruling it all the way. I'm just saying.
no,
Right.
I get what you said.
That's definitely a part of the package, but
But
yeah,
also,
but
look.
oh, go ahead.
One more thing. I also like, so that's one part of it. But I think what we've created here, like, so there's the relationship part and like picking a good partner, right?
Yeah.
And, like, we can have a whole conversation about the importance of picking a good partner,
For
right?
sure.
And we could talk about that later. But even in the relation of men's mental health, there's a lot of things like I feel like I could call any one of y'all and just say, and y'all would be like, okay, let's talk about it.
For
Like,
sure.
what do you need? Are you okay? Right? Like, so I feel like finding spaces that you can operate in that way, whether it's a partner or a friend group, you know, or whatever the case may be, I think that part is invaluable to like the just mental health in general. I could call Rob and say the wildest shit, and I know he would be like, okay, well, you want to go get some, you want to go get some teriyaki chicken to talk about it? Like, we can go talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Definitely chicken. Definitely chicken.
well, okay. All right.
Definitely.
It definitely is chicken. But you know, I just appreciate that so much, because I think what Rob was saying, it's hard to show up that way when you have the fear of judgment, or you've been conditioned not to talk about and just bury those things and not emote or express those things in a way that makes you feel comfortable. So for me, I just wanted to clear that up. I feel like I have that same energy here as well. Like, I feel like I could, if I was really going through something, I can call y'all and be like,
For sure. I think leaning on your brothers is a special kind of thing. Look, you know what it is? It's knowing that every person I'm talking to right now is concerned and actually care about my well-being.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
And,
you know what I mean?
and they care about me in a way that feels like care. Like, there are some people who
100%.
care a lot, but the way they care feels like it's worse.
For sure. It's different. You know, calling Rob, talking to him about anything. It's funny, talking to Rob about, I'll call Rob about cameras, and it ends on like a real brotherhood. Like, my brother, it's like, I mean, it's brotherhood, but it's my brother. Like, you know what I mean? It's like I'm talking to my brother on the line. Like, you know what I mean? And we can be talking about that. How you doing, man? You sure? You good? You know, it's that person that you know, like, are you okay? Even when sometimes you know that he's in his own storm. See, that's the thing, right? It's one thing to talk to me and Charles. Me and Charles talk every time we get anywhere. We talk. We go off to the side. We talk about a bunch of stuff, right? And then and I could be going through my stuff, my things. We probably even got on that yet, right? But when we converse, the way we deal with each other, it's like, but I'm here for the conversation, right? I'll deal with my things, and if we get to it, cool. You know what I mean? I'm safe with my brother if he knows what I'm going through. But while we're here in this moment in the present, we're gonna deal with this. You know what I mean? Back to kind of like with the past conversation. While we're in the moment of dealing with us, we're gonna deal with us. But I also understand that we will put that first in a moment of us dealing with each other. And it's a I don't want to say unique or rare, but I don't. It's a very, for me in my life, it's a very unique group. You know what I mean? Like the way you guys are, to me, very unique. I got close homies. I got homies I've been knowing my whole entire life, 40 plus years, right? But still a difference in how I talk to a Rob or a Josh than I would one of the other homies. You know what I mean? And it's literally no judgment, you know, and it feels, I don't feel like I should have told him that after I get off the phone or after I leave the place of, you know what I mean?
And that's we could be in a place where we don't even agree. Like, we don't even gotta agree.
And that for
like,
sure.
I like when we don't agree, and it's like, oh man, that's crazy how much we love being in a friendship where even when we don't agree, we handle that well too.
Man, I think it's about going through fire, like I was speaking of earlier. It's the test of. I talked about this. I mentioned before. It's funny. I used to say all the time. I've literally, well, I still haven't, but I've said I literally never ever had an argument with Rob. But recently, it was a thing that happened.
Right.
But even in that thing, we talked about it immediately. We both understood where both was coming up from. It was done after that. Literally
and
done.
And there was nothing to apologize for.
And it was but it was also a misunderstanding of
right.
also of, you know what I mean? So it's like, oh, okay, we done with that. Cool, that's done. Right. Mm-hmm. But it felt good knowing that we can, because even going into it, here's the difference. Even going into it, the respect level was different. Who you were to me was different. I wasn't coming in hot.
Right.
Hey, my brother, when it's a good time, you know, we still got to talk. Like, you know what I mean?
And your language isn't offensive to me. Like, there are things that sometimes as a man, you got to bite your tone, you got to fight your language, you got to fight the pacing, the speed, the velocity of your words coming out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can just hear what this person is saying. And I have nothing in me that feels offended by that. Because I know he doesn't mean anything, and there's nothing to be hurt by. I just want to hear where he's coming from.
For sure. Charles, if I could tap you in, I asked a question.
My sound coming through good?
Yes, you're good. I asked a question. I said, when was the last time you felt seen, you felt truly seen or understood, and what did that moment mean to you?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I was trying to come up with the time, and my mind is clouded by all of the times that I didn't.
Shoot.
I can't. I am so used to not experiencing that. I want to be careful with my language, you know, because you know what it is.
I got you.
Know what it is, but somebody.
No, I got you.
And so, I you know, my trauma is I have this expectation to never bring an expectation like that to the table, because every time I expect it, I get injured. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so it becomes, I don't need, I almost, the language in itself doesn't even have a place to sit, because it's like, what does that mean? Now, I'm not suggesting that there aren't times where I'm like, man, that was amazing. I have great times. I have great experiences. But, you know, to be honest, there are very few
Are you breaking up a little bit?
feel anybody need.
You probably right through a bad patch.
Yeah.
You probably right through a bad patch, Dr. Dorsey. You breaking up?
His patch so bad he can't even hear you.
Oh shoot. Okay. Okay.
Like, it,
Eh, eh.
there you go. He looked like he back.
Is he back here? Oh, you're not back.
Yeah,
Okay.
he
All
out.
right.
He out.
You be
All
back and
right.
gone at the same time.
What about you, AD?
I think for me, man, the last time I was, I felt that, um, is honestly, man, it's been recently for me a few times, uh,
Okay.
from a few different people, like this space with, with you all, with my brothers. Then I have other areas where I'm really starting to feel, because I think oftentimes like we highlight the negative so much, and so the negative gets so much praise, and not because it's bigger than the positive. We make it bigger than the positive because of our focus levels. And
Yeah.
so for me, man, I'm really starting to see, like, it may not be a lot of people, and it doesn't have to be a lot of people. It's the quality of the people that are checking on me, that are asking the questions. And then we would love to say, well, I've just come to the point where I'm not allowing the enemy to win like that. I ain't allowing the enemy to make me think that ain't nobody caring about me. I ain't allowing the enemy to make me think that ain't nobody checking on me, because literally it may be in a group text setting, but somebody's asking about you in that group text.
For
Somebody's
sure.
asking how you're doing, and it's okay, to acknowledge the fact that no, everything ain't negative, and everything ain't trash right now, and everything ain't horrible. Like, and I ain't fighting no haters, and I ain't trying to prove nobody nothing. Like, I
Yeah.
I I recently, man, have just been coming into a space where I'm like, yo, like, people legit been checking on me. People legit been making sure, not making sure I'm good, but if I'm not good, I do have spaces to where I can communicate that and feel heard without um without later apologizing for how I feel.
Mm. Yeah.
Because what happened is, man, you will be truthful about your approach and what's going on with you, and then somebody spin it and make it about them, and how what you going through affected them, and how you ain't showed up. And it's like, yo, like, this is what I'm dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't even have a moment by myself. I can't even have a moment of my honesty, because my moment of my honesty is going to come to me aiding your wounds and
Mm.
neglecting mine yet again.
I
So
don't know what you just said, AD, but Rob felt that in his soul.
because 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 it's the truth, man. And I think a lot of times, like, we don't want to say that, because we're always programmed to show up for people. But man,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you why so many men feel like they can't be honest about what we feel like. And majority of that is, when we're honest about what we feel, is going to be spun as if we're not man enough, based upon somebody else's depiction of manhood that probably didn't have a daddy.
Mm.
So now we're fighting your illusion of what you feel like manhood should be, because I want to be vulnerable and express to you that, yo, I'm not feeling well. But man, I can't tell you, man, like, God is really have shown me, like, yo, like, you're blessed to have spaces and pockets of people and connections that will allow you to communicate what you feel, communicate what's going on with you, without them spinning it around, and then you caring for them versus you caring for yourself. And even if I have two spaces like that, I'm grateful for it.
Yeah.
And I think right now I probably have like 3 or 4 spaces like that. And so I'm extremely grateful for those spaces.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to tell the people, man, thank you for creating that space for me, that every time I communicate what I feel, it doesn't turn into an argument.
Yeah, that's good. That's good, Ad. I and I'm gonna say this, and I gotta jump because I have an opportunity to share some time. Uh, and I want to say my habit, Ad, is apologizing for taking advantage of the space. Rob knows I do this all the time. I'm like, man, I'm sorry, invoice me. Yeah, I mean, I do because I'd be like, yo, I be feeling sincere, like I asked for too much when I asked you to allow me to show up with my full self.
But but
And and
but Charles, can I say this real quick, bro?
yeah, yeah,
It's never asking for too much when you have made the deposit into so many other people. Hear me when I say this. If you call me and you ask for like, because there have been times where you like, bro, I just need a minute. You know what I'm saying? And
mhm,
I think we
mhm,
talked right before your competition. Hey, bro,
yeah,
I just need a minute. Here's the thing.
yeah.
Don't you ever feel bad for withdrawing $10 when you deposit 1,000?
Mm.
Why would you
Okay.
feel bad? The
because he's been broke before, and debt is a
bingo,
trauma. He's afraid he's withdrawing too much. He don't really
bingo,
see the account.
and you're never withdrawing too much because you always are depositing into people, bro. Don't allow the enemy to make to make you feel that way. Like you have every right, you have every right to the places in which that you make these deposits to make withdrawals as well. And we will be less than brothers to let you to tell you that you can't make a withdrawal.
Yeah. That's
And
kind of like
even
the small print of contract, Charles. That's like the
Yeah.
small print, us being friends contract. It's funny the way you and I talk in person. I feel like we don't talk enough on the phone.
Mhm,
I'm gonna be honest and say that, and
mhm,
not because
mhm.
of something wrong. We just haven't. I don't know that we didn't start off like that, so we just didn't. But the way we
Yeah,
are in spaces,
yeah,
you would think like
yeah.
Right. We
we
would
We
talk
talk
to
talk
each
all
other
the
about
all
it.
time.
the
Yeah,
time. You
yeah,
would think, and
yeah,
but here's the thing. Um, if there's ever going to be a time where I'm like, hey, I'm gonna call Charles for this because whatever reason, I'm busting through the phone line. You got a second? And
yeah,
you have that same with me. I think with all these brothers here, that's what this space is for. Not this space we're talking on specifically. I mean, just us being friends. I think we all come into agreement that look, I'm going to hold y'all down. Please hold me down. That, and that's it. Like I'm gonna hold it doesn't have to be explained. I don't have to give context with that. I'm gonna hold y'all down, man. Just hold me down. You know what I mean? And us, as we talk and converse and we build together, we learn each other more. You find out all your things, and you do. I think it's a beautiful thing, and it turns out to be this just safe space that we built for ourselves to be comfortable in. You
and
gonna say something, AB?
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. And I was going to say this too, Charles.
what's
Even if
up?
you weren't in the season of making deposits, you have relationship and history.
Mm,
Do you know how many
Yeah, your
times
account is good, bro.
your account is good? You know what I'm saying? So if you were in the season, if like, bro, one of the most amazing things that I learned, I was banking with Redstone Federal Credit Union in Huntsville, Alabama. I went through a season. I would my account was like with overdrawn, and I went in there and I was like, hey, like, I'm trying to get my account back together. Da da da. They told me, they said, well, you can get a loan, and I was like, I can get a loan? Like, I have no money. My account is in a negative. They said because of your relationship with us over the years, you may be negative right now, but your account has been in good standing for 10 plus years.
I know church when I see it.
You see what I'm saying? So because the dynamic, the length, the good standing of the relationship.
Woo!
Even though I didn't have it, I was trying to withdraw from a negative account, and they said, "Yo, you got enough history with us that you still can
Mm.
withdraw, and we will put more in there than maybe what you need." So all I'm telling you, bro, like, trust me, I get it because that may not be my struggle, but my struggle is always over explaining myself. because I don't think people understand me, and I'm out of the fear of being misunderstood. I
Yep.
spend so much time trying to make a point. People are like, "Oh, you long-winded." No, I just don't want to be misunderstood because I've
Yes,
been
sir.
misunderstood so much. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
So,
Can I
Yeah.
so I get
can I
it.
say? I want to ask something
Let me.
real quick.
Well, wait before I go because I might
Okay,
have
go
to
ahead.
go.
Go
I
ahead.
don't want to.
Go ahead.
Number one, thank you for saying that. That literally brings me to tears. I will say, then my struggle tr- is you guys teaching me how to believe that. And it's not, you guys have done an amazing, I promise you. And I think Rob has known me the longest.
Mm,
So he knows, even today, I reported to him, like, I'm so proud of myself, right? Before we got on the line, I said, yo, I'm doing this thing. He was like, yeah, you doing that thing. And we didn't use those exact words, but you understand what I'm saying.
mm,
And so for me, that's the growth of learning how to make those withdrawals without feeling like I'm creating debt at the same time. So I just want to say that, and I appreciate you guys like that. That hits home. So, anyways, go ahead. And then if I drop, I gotta drop. Okay, so don't
for
don't
sure.
don't be upset.
I
Well,
just want to say.
like and subscribe if you drop.
I just want to say, the this is basically a side thing I need help with, and I think AD just said it. So he said something that triggered something in me that I'll be doing, and I pray about. But I just want to know if you guys even understand where I'm coming from and can feel me in this. I have a problem with, and let me get it out. I have a problem with being misunderstood, and so what happens is when I have these conversations where I feel like here's the thing. Rob's been knowing me the longest, right? I feel like I've public speaking is not my fear, right? I've literally been on stages in front of hundreds of thousands of people. I can talk and rap in front of the world if need be. At a moment's notice, no fear, no nothing. But when it comes to talking about certain topics to certain people, I get tongue tied for some reason. And I tend to think about why do I talk well in other spaces or especially like public speaking. But when it comes to maybe talking to my wife sometimes, I can't express myself well. So what happens is I start to feel like I've been misunderstood. And then it's a trickle down effect. I feel misunderstood now. I feel like everybody misunderstands me. And then I feel like I'm alone because I'm the only one that understands me. And I'm fighting if I'm even right or not. And we tell
Yeah,
ourselves
me
sometimes
too,
it's
bro.
not a right or
Me
wrong
too.
thing, right? I feel like am I right or am I wrong? Um, and I got to correct myself too. I'm sorry. Side note, has nothing to do with nothing. Charles, the lady was white. She's white passing in the movie, but she's actually white in Sinners. I went back, did my research, had to correct myself. My apologies, my good brother. Back to this. Yeah, I feel misunderstood, and I feel like I can't get my words out, and I start fumbling because I'm so misunderstood, and I don't know what happens in that place, and I can't express myself. I'm ridiculously honest and transparent. I don't like to hold back anything. But if it's not coming out in a way it's not being understood, then I get so frustrated. And I went to Charles said that happens to him. What is that about? Is
All
that
the time, bro. All the time, and it's the repeated encounters with people who not just misunderstand you, but they then pick and poke and prod in the misunderstanding to try to get more out of you in that moment. And
yeah?
for me, that's been a history. But let me just say this: I love y'all. I got to jump. I wanted to say that publicly. My heart is full. Okay, y'all
Love
done
you too,
messed me
man.
up. I had to figure out how I'm gonna get into this next moment. But I feel so heard, and I salute y'all for that. Y'all didn't have to get that to me today, but thank you for putting it together. And
Sure.
I hate that I got to get off, but I love that I got to get off. All right,
Hey man,
so
we love you too, Charles, man. And looking forward to the next time we talk like this.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
man,
Love
let's
you,
do
bro.
it.
Love you too,
Indeed,
bro. Be
Do you
good.
think have a good one?
yes, sir.
Um, yeah. So that's my thing, man. I feel misunderstood. I don't know how to talk sometimes, but I'm great in spaces where I got to speak to people or something. I got to talk to a class, or I got to talk to a bunch of people about anything. I don't get nervous at all. And what's crazy is I turn on Mr. Personality when I do those things, right? I'm laughing. I know how to be witty and charming and all these things, but when it comes to sometimes maybe talking to my wife or maybe talking to in intimate spaces where I got to speak about something real, then I get a little. Man, look, Rob, no, even me and Rob we'll have discussions, and I get frustrated if I'm not being understood. I start stuttering a little bit, and I'll stop, and I gotta calm myself down and bring myself back. And I'm like, what? I don't know what that is. Like, I'm not asking y'all to have the answer, but I just have to say it because it bothers me.
There's a couple phobias. If you look up
Okay.
on Google right now, a fear of being misunderstood, there's different terms for different versions of that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, somebody in the chat could put some of the definitions of it in the terms, but a fear of being misunderstood is also a fear of judgment. It's linked to how other people perceive you, and some of the violence that happens with words and energy, and physical violence that happens in relationship with family, is a frustration that people aren't getting you. Like, it hurts to not be understood by someone you care about.
Yeah. Do you find, first of all, thank you for that.
Mm.
Do you find that, I mean, I can't ask you to think for me, obviously, but I'm going to just shoot this by you.
Let's group think.
Do you find that in the midst of me not being understood, or I feel like I'm being misunderstood, and then there's this judgment call that comes from whatever I've expressed, and I find myself in a moment trying to change it because I maybe not like that judgment, so now I need to change it. Not change it like I'm being mischievous, like I'm changing what I meant, but just like, no, that doesn't relate to how I feel, so it can't be that. So I must not be saying what I'm saying because you wouldn't feel like that. It's like I'm kind of thinking for you in a sense. You understand what I'm trying to say? You know,
it's an you're analyzing how the experience is coming off. You're like,
yeah.
Oh, I hit you here, and that's not where I meant. What I was trying to say is this, and you couldn't have understood me because if you did, it wouldn't have got there. Like
100%.
Yeah, that's what's happening.
100%. I don't know, and bro, I'm talking about bothers me. For lack of better terms, I'll use bothers.
Mm-hmm.
It truly wrecks me.
It happens in therapy a lot. So as a therapist or somebody that's sitting in circles or whatever, as a facilitator, some of the times when I witness it happening, I go, where did that just take you? Right?
Yeah.
And I might ask a look to be like, when he, she, or they were like, and reacted, and you try to clarify, or you get angry, or you get loud, or you get dismissive and pull back or retreat and do the Homer Simpson, like, hey, he's sitting in front of the bushes, you just pull back into the bushes. Like, it's this idea of like, and you're having a reaction to being misunderstood. And as a therapist might do, or a facilitator does, I go, where did I just take you?
Yeah. Because we need to get to that. You reacted in a way in that moment, and we need to deal while it's fresh in thought. We need to deal with it. Wow.
Yeah, Mercedes just said in the chat that's one of the main ones, but there's also like two other phobias that come up if you Google it. But that's the term of fear of being misunderstood.
I gotta look this up. Thank you, Mercedes, for dropping that in there. Man, I don't want to stay on that. It frustrates me, bro. I'm glad that you gave me something to at least research and check into, and I do have therapies. I've talked to my therapist about it as well. I haven't talked about that one thing specifically, but AD, when he responded to Charles, it made me think of that. And that's something I'm definitely taking into therapy because, bro, I need a handle on that because I find myself getting into these situations. I keep bringing up my wife. It's not my wife all the time, but just she's the closest to me. But it's people. And what happens with my wife, after the conversation, after you've processed it, after you sat with yourself, and all, then I find myself needing to apologize because I'm like,
part of it. You ruminate over past experiences where you didn't feel like you showed up the right way, or it didn't reflect what you were trying to say, or what your beliefs were, or what you were trying to do for somebody, and it's like, that's
and look, that's where we're one and the same, because I deal with the same thing, but mine manifests as regret. So then I start thinking about the conversations, and then think about what I should have said, how I should have showed up. And then a lot of times I'm overemphasizing stuff that the person has already forgot about. Um,
Oh wow.
um, uh, a, a perfect analogy of this is we were doing promo for the Commerce Conference in Chattanooga. I had to do a radio show, and Chris is hosting a radio show with two of his other friends. I call in, and then we get on the air, and Chris said something. He was like, "Oh, we got Adrian," and he says my middle name, and because uh, um, because that's just how we talk. We joke with each other
Yeah.
and so on. He's been my best friend since I was in high school. You know what I'm saying? And so then I said, I can't remember the exact word, but I was trying to say, "Oh, you petty for that," but my brain was working, and I said something else, right? That
Mm.
seemed that seemed more harmful than just petty. I can't remember the
Okay.
exact word right
Okay.
now, which I'm actually grateful for that I can't remember the
Okay.
word. That tells me that what I'm
For
trying to
sure.
do is
You let
working.
it go. Yeah, you letting
For
it go.
sure. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I've let it go. But so we do the whole call with his friends. That call was an hour. The whole call I'm thinking about, dang, I didn't mean to say that. We get off the call,
Mhm.
dang, I didn't mean to say that. 2 weeks later, dang, man, I ain't mean to say that. And I called Chris, and I'm like, bro, I'm like, man, and we've talked since then.
Mhm.
Like, we had talked since then. And I'm like, bro, when we did the radio call, he was like, what? When? And I'm like 3 weeks ago when we did the radio call, you said my middle name, and I was trying to say petty, and I said whatever it was. And then he was like, huh? And I'm like, yeah, man, it's just been sitting with me. It's been bothering me that I said that to you. He was
Wow.
like, bro, I ain't thinking about that. And I'm like, I
How
know you're
about it?
not. I know you're not, but I am.
Mhm.
But also what I realized, it's a fear that I was misunderstood, but it's also a fear that he would take that and be mad at me and leave me.
Mm. Wow. Wow.
So what I realized is that I ruminate on things because I feel like I'm giving people ammunition to disconnect from me.
Yeah.
And you don't want to miss. You don't
Damn.
want to. You don't want to not see it. To be like so careless
Yep.
and crash. Like I don't care about nothing. I wasn't thinking about nothing. I have no conscience. I have no guilty conscience. I have no. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it manifests for me the same way. Like I've done this to Rob several times where I'll just call him and apologize for being a bad friend. Like I'm just busy and I'm like, I'm so caught up in my own world
Rob
and things. And
crazy.
I'll be like, hey, bro, I'm just not doing my part as a friend. And he's like, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
I was like, what are you talking about? And I
Yeah.
was like, man, I'm just busy. I feel like I'm not calling. I'm not checking in. I'm not like, I'm like, man, I feel bad. And to AD's point, is rooted in like my fear that Rob's gonna call me and be like, hey, bro, you're not really my friend. Like you don't be calling, you don't check in, like you not making the appropriate, like it's the deposit situation, right? Like if
well,
I
we've
feel
seen
like,
Rob do that. It took way more, and then for him to finally
wow,
let somebody go.
For me to
Yeah.
let somebody go, for me to break up a friendship or a relationship romantically, you've seen how much it just looks at the end like it's really abrupt, but it ain't.
yeah. But I think it's fear based for me. It's like
Yeah.
I don't ever want it to get to the point like I think Charles said it. Like I feel like I'm not depositing enough, and that account is starting to run dry.
That
And
goes to the thing about working too hard, though. We are slaves to this shit. Like,
Yeah.
man, being with your person gotta feel a little easy. You know what I'm saying? Being with your friends shouldn't feel like you working all the time. Like,
yeah,
it should feel easy to be my friend, man. Like, if it ain't that easy, man, something off.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's tough when you deal with. I think that's why this is such a blessing. Now, I'm literally speaking about this space that we're in right now because we fight these battles on a solo level a lot. Like individually, we're dealing with our things, right? And I'm not saying that we all think that it's only us. But when you're dealing with your thing, it seems like it's only you. I know my problem isn't rare. I'm not the one person in the world with this issue, right?
No, there's a whole word on Google for this before you
You know
talk.
what I'm saying? Right? I mean, it's a thing, right? But what's funny is when you're in that thing, it feels like nobody's in it. It feels like am I the only one here? And then that gets frustrating. And it's not even a real thing. It's like I mean, it's funny, but the truth is that it has a word meaning, and that word was probably a word before I was even born, right? So meaning, it's the thing. But I just like, man, I think back to my point is even telling you guys tonight on how that's one of my things, and then y'all being like, oh yeah, I'll be dealing with oh yeah, I'll be for sure. Me and you. And I'm like,
we'd be like, me too.
it feels like a load off, though. It feels like because I'm glad Josh brought up therapy part because this is something I need to bring up to my therapist. So I'm gonna deal with these things, but it do feel like a load off just the fact that I said it and somebody was like, oh yeah, for sure, me too. And I'm like, wait, oh okay. I'm not the only, you know what I mean? There's a name for it. And Rob fucking ass. I'm sorry for cussing, but Rob knew it. Sorry, Mom. I know you probably listening to this.
Hey, y'all got luck to cuss. Y'all did it. Yeah, I did it.
Yeah.
Sorry. Rob will be the one that
Rob
thing you thought you did with?
Rob
Right.
is so excited he made you say
that. That thing you thought you was rare in, there's a library full of it.
Yeah, there's a specialist of that. Like, but being in a relationship with people, like for example, like the people in my life that I love and that love me, and y'all are front row center in that group of people who I feel like I should not fear being misunderstood with y'all. So one of the reasons that I don't struggle with it as much as I could is because I have seen evidence of y'all trying to understand me by asking me questions. Or when I'm tripping, you being empathetic or compassionate to be like, oh man, he's just going through something right now. Like I've witnessed you not misunderstand and not even require my explanation to be perfect. You just dealt with the thing. You handled it with tenderness and love and care, compassion, kindness, empathy, care. And I think that's the thing that helps people who struggle with being misunderstood and abandonment is as much as we want to speak our truth, listen to understand and show up with tenderness. Like handle me with care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I appreciate. It's funny. I was going to ask a question on our way out, but I don't want to end it like that. I like it where it is.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate, first of all, each of y'all, including Charles, also for this conversation. For me, this wasn't just content. These are the conversations I love to have with y'all anyway, and I'm very appreciative of the men you are. You know what I mean? My brothers. I'm so honored and humbled to have you, call you friends and brothers, and I'm looking forward to all the things we create. I know we talk about creating stuff a lot because we're creatives at heart and we cheer each other on every step of the way, right? But I do think it's important that we continue to have conversations like this, even on public platforms, because I feel like though I started this thing so we can have these conversations. Well, I didn't start it, but we all kind of started these things to have these conversations out loud in public, and for people to learn something from. We can get something from people and all that, but in the end, I learn and I get blessed, and I get hearing what you guys speaking about and your opinions on things, and I get blessed in it, and I learn. I can take something. I literally have something to take with me from this conversation that I'm moving into my marriage and my therapist. You know what I mean? And I think that's awesome and bigger than trying to talk about the latest drama, latest pop culture reference or whatever. This is the meat to stick to. This is something to stick to the ribs. You know what I mean? And I'm so glad that I have you guys to journey. To have you on this journey with me. I'm really, really appreciative, man. You guys are super dope. You guys are dope. This was dope, man.
Man, I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We appreciate you for creating this space, man. Thank you for having the courage to do it.
For sure, for sure. I want to I'm not gonna schedule this thing out. I'm gonna let it happen naturally and organically, like we always do. And then I think that's the best way. And wherever God takes it, wherever He moves it to, then it'll be so, right?
So the in person one requires luck to do one in June. So be like, hey man, meet me here. Let's do this.
Oh yeah.
Well, June we supposed to meet up. I'm not gonna say. We're supposed to meet up on June already for something, and but still, I can do whatever though. Still, that's cool.
Yeah, just be like, hey, I'm inviting y'all out to this. Besides,
I mean,
the
I've been
you want to use the other
one?
one? You want to use the other one? I think
No,
it should just be.
we need a guy situation.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Says Howland is saying like, I say yeah to Howlands.
Yeah,
Howland.
Rob, we know you say yeah.
I'm saying yeah.
I need
to hear me.
that honey.
Don't misunderstand me,
but before we go, I was a little disappointed in you, Rob. I must say, because you didn't introduce yourself as what I thought you were going to introduce yourself.
I thought that was a win.
No, it's the wrong podcast for that. That's the wrong.
Not tonight.
Not at all.
First of all, I blame Josh. The way he started, my name's Josh. I like cameras. What? All right.
But you followed it up with my name's Rob. I like cameras too.
That's how you started.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I guess what we talked about how we was going to introduce the homies is not how we doing it. All right.
My name is Mike. I like sports, and that's it.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait, why is there 4 cameras out here? Who's up? Oh no, never mind. I'm tripping.
Did you not count yourself?
I didn't. Thank you, Rob. Thank you.
I see 4 spots, but who is this other person?
Nobody knew that until you said it. But thank you. I appreciate you.
I see Rob. I see AD. I see Josh. But who is that?
Who's the mystery guy?
Who's the mystery guy? Oh, that's me.
That's how you know you're handsome. You ever just be so glowed up and handsome you don't even recognize yourself?
I don't even feel seen by me.
That nigga fine. Who is this nigga?
Who is that?
Who is he? We got the hoes in here now. Look at this.
Okay. You know, all right. So, hey, Mom, I hope my mama logged out. Mama, I hope you logged out. All right. So,
yeah.
Hey, my brothers, I love y'all.
It's almost 8:30. That's when that conversation goes.
I love y'all. Great conversation, my guys.
That's what's going on. All right, man.
All right, look.
I'll be seeing y'all actually soon.
Sure.
No, let's hit Howlands though soon though. Let's do that.
Let's do that. My good brothers, thank you for everybody who logged in today, for everybody sat in for the chat. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all, man. Sunshine Baby, thank you for holding us down. As always, with the links and we've seen everything, the promotion and all the promotion you've been doing. Thank you. I thank y'all for everybody who tapped in. I love y'all tapping with us next time. We out. Peace.
Look at Nick's comment. You got to post that one.
Oh, shoot. Where Nick at? Where he at?
He said, Cuz introduced himself as Sames. He's on the set. He said on the set. I meant to say that earlier because Rob, like they talk about LA, like we have a
accent.
What you call it? We have an accent, and I heard it so deep. Rob was like, "Yeah, no, we from LA though." I was like, "Oh, Rob, on the set."
Hey, Samesies is hilarious.
That's crazy. All right, y'all. I gotta go.
All right,
y'all. I'm out. All right, peace.